Hello, everyone, and we welcome you into Pioneer Field for the Pioneers' home openers. Tusculum and West Alabama square off in the first meeting between both schools. Out of the Gulf South Conference, West Alabama comes to Tusculum today at 1-0 on the year. After a defeat against the Limestone Saints this past Saturday night, they win at home in Livingston, Alabama by a final of 35-18. Last year they went on the road to Limestone and win 16-13. West Alabama comes in today ranked number 20 in the country. They finished last year with 8 wins and went to the first round of the NCAA postseason. Brett Gillen has done a great job in his 6th season at West Alabama. The 2004 All-Conference quarterback for the West Alabama Tigers has come back to his alma mater and made them extremely successful, especially in the passing game. Each of the last, say, 2 durations of quarterbacks at West Alabama, they have had the leading passer in school history, and now a new quarterback will take flight for West Alabama this season. We'll talk a little bit more about them. The Tusculum Pioneers also, after an 0-1 start, traveling last week to Cleveland, Mississippi, taking on Delta State. Delta State didn't have the type of year they wanted from a season ago, but they're off on a good start. They get a 24-10 win against the Pioneers at home in the Delta in Cleveland, Mississippi. The second consecutive Gulf South team that the Pioneers will face today. Let's take a look at some of the guys that we may be calling today for the West Alabama Tigers, and we will start on offense. Christian Salisbury might be one of the better players in the Gulf South Conference this season. Last year in all Gulf South Conference, second on the team with 52 receptions, 644 yards, and 4 scores. He was also a wonderful kickoff return leader, a long of 95 yards last year. He led the Tigers with 1,484 all-purpose yards a season ago. Jack McDaniels has been tasked with taking over for 2 of the top quarterbacks in school history, Kyle Caldwell and Harry Satterwhite. Last year, he was at Delaware State University. Last week, he throws for 277 yards against Limestone in the victory, along with 3 touchdowns. And Quay Boyd, the 2-time All-American, had 46 receptions, 562 yards, starting in 9 games. Here's a junior college transfer that played quarterback, running back, and wide receiver when he was in JUCO land, a 2-time All-American. A senior this season will be looked upon in the passing game for West Alabama. And then defensively, Tavarius Hutchinson, an all-conference from a year ago at safety, second on the team with 75 tackles a year ago. And Jordan Jones, an all-conference first-team selection a year ago, and played and started in 12 games, had 63 tackles and 36 solo stops for West Alabama. Some of the guys that we will call some of their names quite often today. And now as we turn our attention to Tusculum, the 2 quarterbacks, maybe you make your best improvement from game 1 to game number 2. Joaquin Collazo threw for 117 yards last week. He threw for over 4,000 yards in high school. He is going to be looked upon to improve his game along with Bryce Moore. Moore came in the second half. He threw for almost 100 yards before going out late with a leg injury. He may get the start today. The graduate of Jefferson, Georgia High School, started basically for 4 seasons, a 2-time All-Region and a Region Offensive Player of the Year in 2017. Also goes for 4,000 yards passing. Who we will not have today will be Torrey Ponder, still out with Jake Moss, and Carter Mangle was injured last week, will miss the next couple of games. But that means Jordan Shippey, that means A.J. Bellinger, and others will have to pick up some of the slack on the offense that was only held to 10 points and only 281 yards from a week ago. Meanwhile, defensively for the Pioneers, they will also be without Malik Goodman today at safety. That is a big miss because he is the general on the back end of the defense for Coach Jerry Odom. So in to replace him will be Isaiah Dunn, and we'll move Nick Jackson into that bandit location. But Ivan Hogans was the team's leading tackler last week with 7 tackles. Expect him, and hopefully he will have another big game. 2 teams, one with eye-potent offense, the other with a very stingy defense, will be on display here today from Pioneer Field. We're glad that you'll be with us to see it here through the Pioneers YouTube page, through the Pioneer Sports Network. I'm Brian Staten. We're moments away from kickoff, Tusculum and West Alabama.
Tusculum University Athletic Department respectfully asks that you please stand and for everyone to remove their hats for today's invocation and the singing of our national anthem. The invocation will be provided by Tusculum Assistant Athletic Director Dom Donnelly, followed by our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, our invocation.
Let us pray. O gracious and most heavenly Father, we thank you as we gather this evening. Bless and protect all student athletes who compete on this field tonight. We ask you to bless and protect all travelers who will make their way home this evening, especially our friends from West Alabama. And as always, we ask for peace, understanding, and tolerance in our weary world. We ask for these and all things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with you forever and ever. Amen.
Fans, the 2019 Homecoming Golf Tournament will be held Friday, October 4th at Graysburg. The four-person Captain's Choice event will begin at 12:30 with lunch and red.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, it's funny running into you.
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
The Tigers today from Pioneer Field. Last week against a Gulf South team, didn't have a great showing and fell 24-10. Our young gunslingers have to make a big step from game 1 to game number 2, as today they hope to take down the power of the Tigers from Livingston, Alabama. It's Tusculum and West Alabama as you listen to Pioneer football. He's just a freshman! To the 20, to the 10, forget it! Touchdown, Corey Russell! Yes, sir. Touchdown, Pioneers! Touchdown, Brian Talent. The kick is down. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked! Tusculum has the ball down and the Pioneers win!
This is John Gregory.
Hello, Pioneer fans. This is Ron Talent. I'm Drew Neesmith, and you're listening to
Pioneer Football on the Pioneer Sports Network.
And now, Pioneer Football. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
A sunny but very humid Saturday evening here in Upper East Tennessee as we are just in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains and welcome the West Alabama Tigers from the flatlands of West Alabama here to Greenfield, Tennessee, Tusculum, and West Alabama today. As the Pioneers open their home portion of the schedule today, the Sons of Davy Crockett welcome the 20th ranked West Alabama Tigers. Tusculum hosting nationally ranked West Alabama here from the Nicelonger Sports Complex at Pioneer Field, and since 1991, the Pioneers 20-8 in their home openers, 19-8 here at Pioneer Field. The lone time the Pioneers might recall this very early in the DeBusk era. We called it air raid. The Pioneer Field was not completed, so they could not play a football game here, so we moved it over to the high school stadium at Burley Stadium at Greenville and lost in that particular game. But since the Division II era, Tusculum 16-5 in their home openers. Last week, the Pioneers opened up with the Gulf South opponent in Delta State. Tusculum now just 3-10 all-time against the Gulf South, and Tusculum playing Gulf South members shorter is 2-0, 2 of their 3 wins, and their other win coming against West Georgia. Very late 90s with the win in that one. So West Alabama, ranked 20th in the country, already knocking off a South Atlantic Conference team last week in Limestone, and they also did that last year against Lenore-Rhine and Limestone. They went 2-0 against the South Atlantic Conference from a year ago. We take a look at some of our player profile, and some of the guys that we will be calling today from West Alabama includes on offense Christian Salisbury. He comes out of high school as a 2-star recruit out of Mississippi, but finished at a private institution in Memphis, a 2-time All-Gulf South Conference, second on the team last year in receptions and in yards with 4 touchdowns, and his 52 receptions were 3rd in the Gulf South Conference. His 644 receiving yards were 6th, and he just returned kickoffs, 29 of them for 838 yards and a touchdown, a log of 95. 1,484 all-purpose yards from a year ago for Christian Salisbury. And Quay Boyd, a 2-time All-American, All-Region, All-Gulf South Conference, 46 catches, 562 yards from a year ago. A little bit of a do-it-all type player. Quay Boyd is also very big, and that's why he's a big target for West Alabama. And Bailey Blanchard, a all-conference selection from a year ago, led the Tigers with 56 catches and 666 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Tigers from a year ago. Replacing the 2 best quarterbacks passing-wise in West Alabama history is Jack McDaniels. Played his previous 2 seasons at Delaware State University, but he's replacing the 2 top quarterbacks over the last 7 years. Kyle Caldwell with 7,771 passing yards, 86 touchdowns, and Harry Satterwhite, 7,537 passing yards and 68 touchdowns. McDaniels last week, 277 yards and 3 touchdowns for the win in the 470 yards of offense they racked up. Defensively, Tavarius Hutchinson, all-conference from a year ago. He was second on the team with tackles from a season ago. Jordan Jones started all 12 games, 63 tackles, second in the Gulf Conference with 12 tackles for a loss. Terrence Jones and Jordan the Legend Grady. Talking about these guys, Jordan the Legend, as we can call him affectionately, leads the Gulf South with 9 tackles, did that last week against Limestone. For the Pioneers, there is some question marks today because there are some big key players missing for Tusculum, including at guard. Tremaine Chapman will get his first start, the 6'2 junior, and at right guard it'll be Brandon Harrison, for the Pioneers. Missing a couple of key figures there, but it tackles Christian Culture and Kevion Broadwater will be strong. The Pioneers will need to rely on these young freshman quarterbacks. Will it be Bryce Moore or Joaquin Colazo? We won't know until the first snap for the Pioneers. Either one is fully capable. They proved that last week on the road at Delta State. A.J. Bellinger needs to have a big day today because Carter Mangle will be out, the all-conference tight end. Surgery this week on a knee. He'll be out the next 2 to 3 weeks. Torrey Ponder will be missing today's game also with a knee. And Jordan Shippey, Thurlow Wilkins, or Maurice Gamillion needs to get the offense going in that running game. But the offensive line must be key today for the Pioneers. Defensively, we will be without Malik Goodman, and that means others in the secondary will have to step up. Look for Chris Matthews, David Johnson, or D. Alford to have big games in the secondary with Isaiah Dunn. We're ready for kickoff, Tusculum and West Alabama. Joe Bird joins me next as we bring you Tusculum versus West Alabama. This is Pioneer Football on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the...
We welcome in Joe Bird. Missed you last week. Missed you a lot during the summer, too, by the way.
I've been traveling around quite a bit this summer, and then last week just couldn't quite get the travel in.
It was tough, as those school teachers, you know, they got to work on Fridays.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that?
It's Thursday games, and Thursday, by the way. This is a Pioneer team to get a chance to see. I'm very impressed with what they have done offensively, but I think that the offensive line must be better. It will be a tough challenge today for this West Alabama team. So getting set to kick foot to leather is Allen Andrzejewski. The kick is away, and we are underway. Salisbury gathers under it at 11 for the Tigers. At the 15, at the 20, and up to about the 22, and then he scurries up to the 25. The ball pops out, but he was downed, and that'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their own 25-yard line.
Looks like we got somebody shaking up here on the play, Brian. Hopefully not too bad. I think maybe there's two guys still tangled together.
A Pioneer football team that these home openers, they've been successful, but they haven't played the likes of a West Alabama team like this. This will be a big challenge for this Pioneer team. A West Alabama team last year that went 8-4, and they are preseason number 2 in the Gulf South, only behind that of the defending national champion Valdosta State, whom, by the way, they play next Saturday, and ranked 20th in the country, a preseason number 24. At quarterback is going to be McDaniels, and on the first play action pass across the middle is going to be incomplete. Intended target was Tyreek Martin, whom this coaching staff at Tusculum talked with extensively during his prep career, but he chose West Alabama over Tusculum. It's 2nd down and 10.
Well, we talked about these Gulf South team, Brian, and I've said this repeatedly while we've been doing this. All of these schools either have the name of a state or the word state in their name. They're much bigger schools than the South Atlantic Conference, and we just struggle to play them.
And we struggle to get some of the guys where they go. This will be McDaniels' play action pass. The blitz comes. He's going to let it fly downfield. Matthews defending. Pretty good defense. The pass is incomplete, as the pass was intended downfield for Corey Proctor. It'll be incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Actually, it's going to be, it is Proctor. Sorry. It can't be. It's Christian Salisbury. Again, the double numbers are always going to get me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not a good practice whenever you're having to do what we do for a living and pick out guys by their numbers.
By their numbers, and then remember who's on offense and who's on defense. And I should have known that with Salisbury. He is a key target, the number 2 guy in the slot. 4 wideouts for the Tigers, 3rd down and 10. This will be McDaniel, just a straight drop. The pocket is good protection. He's going to have to let it fly down the field. The pass is up, tipped, and incomplete. Nearly picked off. 2 Pioneers collide as the pass downfield incomplete, and it will bring up 4th down.
Well, so far so good for the Pioneers with a good defensive start. You force a quick 3 and out against a nationally ranked team like this, and now you're going to get the ball in your hands for the first time at home this season.
28 seconds off the clock. D. Alford will drift back in the punt return, and D had a great return game last week. 4 returns, 16.2-yard average, along of 32. Jake Moss won the job out of camp. He is still out with illness, And one of the best kickers the Pioneers will face this year, the best punter, I should say, drifts it all the way back inside the 20 to the 18, and Alford is taken down at the 24-yard line. Great open field tackle. A penalty flag is down all the way back at the 44-yard line, and number 44 with that stop on special teams, Colin Herring. We'll get the call from our referee from the field.
Brian, in that situation where that flag is located, I might be thinking it could be holding against the Pioneers downfield.
Again, I mentioned one of the best punters that we'll see. Zach Gaines for West Alabama is just the all-time leading punter in school history.
First down.
Was against the Pioneers. It's going to be a holding penalty, so negate what little bit of a return we had and back it up for the Pioneers scrimmage for the first time.
Gaines last week was also named the D2Football.com Special Teams Player of the Week. He punted 10 times. I find that interesting. Punted 10 times against Limestone with a 46.7-yard average. So the Pioneers will be backed up deep in their own territory. No score just underway with 40 seconds gone, and the Pioneers will scrimmage from the first time, and it will be at quarterback Bryce Moore. So Moore will get the start today. Collazo got the start last week, and Jordan Shippey on the first play from scrimmage is going to be tracked down from behind, and there's that team speed on defense as flying in is going to be Jordan Jones. Talked a lot about him before the start of this game as well, and Jones makes the stop 2 yards behind the line, brings up second down and 12.
Jones had 3 tackles last week, and one of those were tackle for loss, so add 2 to his career or season.
Jordan Jones at all-conference from a year ago, 63 tackles, second on the team with stops behind the line last year. He also had 5 sacks, broke up a pass. He did a little bit of everything. And this team just plays so much downhill. Moore out of the gun. Pass looking across the middle, complete at the 20, and very little running room in a somewhat of a soft zone that time for West Alabama as the catch is made for the Pioneers by Desmond Arthur, the sophomore from Rockledge, Florida. It'll bring up a third down, but third down and about, say 5, maybe even 6 for the Pioneers.
Yeah, long 5, short 6. The Pioneers did get the yards they gained or lost on the previous play and a few back.
So Moore's going to come under center. The Pioneers not very good on third downs. Of course, last week when you faced 3rd and 15, 3rd down and 10, and 3rd and double digits on 7 different occasions last week, you don't take that many plays with you on 3rd down and long. Moore looking, delivering. Pass may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage, looking for Jordan Shippey. It's incomplete. Moore was under immense pressure, and the defensive front holds a 3 and out for the Tigers of West Alabama.
2 defensive stands by the 2 teams here. The Pioneers getting ready to punt away, and hopefully they can pin West Alabama one more time.
So not a great first game last week for the injured punter for the Pioneers, and that was kind of a part of the issue for Andrew Cantrell. Just didn't come out of camp 100% healthy, so didn't have the type of average that he is accustomed to having. And last week in punting, averaged just 31 yards a kick, punted 8 times. And he's under pressure. He's going to have his second punt of the year blocked. It's going to be picked up by the Tigers, and they have the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Not a very good special team start for the Pioneers. West Alabama had 3 guys back in Cantrell's face almost about the time that he even got the ball to him.
Trevante Carter at least had his hands on it and the end, but a punt block last week and now a punt block this week. Big difference. You lose somebody like Kelly Donnelly, an all-conference type long snapper for the Pioneers. He graduates. And then you've got 2 new ones out there. You've got a new long snapper and a new short snapper, and now West Alabama has the ball 1st and goal at the 7.
Defense really going to have to step up here. We saw a good stand first time, but now even 3 and out, 3 plays puts West Alabama in the end zone.
Underwood is to the right shoulder of McDaniels in the shotgun with 4 wideouts in the formation for the Tigers. This will be Underwood. He'll get the first carry. He gets away from 1 tackle at the 5. He looks for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown West Alabama. Touchdown Derek Underwood, touching pay dirt from 7 yards away.
Broken tackle right at the line of scrimmage for Underwood, and he was able to scamper his way across the goal line.
Solomon Hunter, the defender, was the first man there and had the stop made but could not wrap up. Tackling has to be key today for the Pioneers. And obviously from the very first series, pass protection, or I should say pass coverage, will have to be very key. But you can't have mental mistakes in special teams, costing the Pioneers for a 2nd consecutive week, and it will lead to 7 as the point after is up, and the point is good. We go to a break, our first time out from Pioneer Field with your new score. 12:45 to play first quarter. West Alabama 7, Tusculum 0. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
Let's get you to that wedding.
a curveball is that much more satisfying
I got the flowers!
when you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story.
Right now, Pioneers just have to brush it off. You can't do anything about it. West Alabama has 7 points on the board. Now just try to go down and even them.
So getting set to kick it away for the Tigers. Trey Jackson added the point after, will also kick off. And back deep is Thurlow Wilkins, shined last week, 7th in school history in kickoff return yardage at nearly 160 yards last week. Also had a 96-yard return called back. So Wilkins fields it at the goal line, fumbles it for a moment, picks it up 5, 10, 15, 20. Wilkins gone 30, 35, 40, 45 out of bounds at midfield. That's the explosion of Thurlow Wilkins. A phenomenal talent. When he sees it, he hits it, and Thurlow Wilkins puts the Pioneers in great field position.
I mean, Wilkins just a redshirt freshman coming in here, big start to this game here. He bobbled the ball at the goal line, which you're thinking, oh, that could be trouble, but perhaps they gave him enough time to get some more blocking and holes open and get way down to a great starting field position.
And we need to see him a little bit more on the offense as well. 48-yard return as he fields it right at the goal line. The Pioneers wearing their all black on the blackout night here on Saturday evening. We are anticipating the potential of some rain later. Bryce Moore is going to bring the offense under center, one single back, and as Jordan Shippey will get it and be cut under at about the 48, might have the 49. It'll be a gain of a yard, second down to 9 coming up.
Shippey led the Pioneers with 19 carries last week against Delta State, averaged 2.9 yards per touch.
Well, we didn't think we'd see Jake Moss, and we see Jake Moss entering the game, sophomore from Orange City, Florida. And the officials want to reset the clock. 12:13 to play here in this opening quarter. 7-0 West Alabama. Moss will be in motion, his first action of the year. Moore to pass, has a man complete at the 45 to the 40, takes it down inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. It's the guy we traveled with last week, and that's going to be Al Thompson IV, the graduate student out of Nashville, Tennessee. It's a 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
Nice little move by Thompson. He received a pass, took a cut back to the inside of the field, and was able to pick up the first down for the Pioneers.
Thompson got eligible last Wednesday night after the team had left, and so Dom and I actually took him down there. He said, I'm going to have a big game today. Call my name. Yeah. We had a little drop touchdown pass from Al, but he said he was going to make it up today. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. This will be Shippey trying to run to the right side, and running on that right side behind the freshman Culture will take it inside the 35 and down to the 33-yard line. Be a big gain on first down, 2nd down and 5 for the Pioneers.
Kevion Broadwater, senior out of South Carolina, doing a good job blocking up front to help make that happen.
I was getting ready to say they actually moved Kevion to the right side, went a little bit unbalanced there, so put the 2 tackles on one side. So 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Pioneers, and I say a big gain on first down because Pioneers last week in the first series had gained little to no yards on first down. Moore will back up into the gun. 3 wideouts in the formation. Shippey out of the backfield. Moore looking to the left, throwing Bellinger's way, and this pass may have hit him in the hands. Defending on the play, Tavarius Hutchinson just did enough to get into the way of Bellinger, and it's 3rd down and 5.
It's just, I guess it was good defense. It looked like the Pioneers might have had a little bit of an argument for some pass interference there, but as it is, they're going to be set back up here, 3rd and 5.
So 7-0 West Alabama. They take advantage of a punt block on the first offensive series for the Pioneers, and they go one play into the end zone. Now facing 3rd down and 5, and we are very maligned on 3rd down. 125th in the country. Did not perform very well after game number 1. And on 3rd down and long, this is actually going to be Jordan Shippey. He'll get the carry, and he'll be taken down by the shoulder pad after a gain of about a yard. And it's going to be 4th down and 5. And then after the play, a penalty flag as Shippey was taken down, and then some extra afterwards. So it'll be an interesting call. The Pioneers are pointing West Alabama's way.
Yeah, I didn't see one way or the other. It's the far side of the field for us. 22 players in between me and the penalty, so we'll just have to wait for the call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct call goes against West Alabama.
Automatic first down for the Pioneers. Move them down in good field position. Maybe keep this drive alive.
Goes on Terrence Carter, I think, is who they called that on, which is his first. He gets another one, and he's sent off for the game. A very good defense for West Alabama. They just play downhill. They stay in their gaps. They're just difficult to maneuver around. And the Pioneers hopefully take advantage of a penalty on 1st down. Broadwater will move from the right side of the line back over to the left, and Moore will come under center. Out of the straight eye for the Pioneers, Jordan Shippey gets the carry, goes right up the middle and be taken down as he takes it inside the 15 and down to about the 14-yard line. Andreas Lilly, the junior from Montevallo, Alabama, there on the stop.
Nice little pickup for Shippey. Just dug slow under those big linemen and is able to pick up a few yards here on 1st down.
Lilly, 28 tackles last year, including a couple for loss for the Tigers. With that stop defensively for West Alabama. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Pioneers. Thompson will line up to the near side for the Pioneers. Somebody's got to replace Torrey Ponder, who is out. Chavis Williams to the far side. Under center is Moore. Stretch handoff play to Shippey. Cuts it back at the 10. Takes it inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. Will be about a half yard shy of the first. It'll be 3rd down and very short for the Pioneers inside the Tiger 10-yard line.
Nice run by Shippey. Good blocking up front, and it's actually close enough. I believe they're going to make a measurement.
The official will say, let's go ahead and measure. Nope. Now they'll say, we'll go ahead and just say 3rd down. Took the timeout just for a moment, and one of the side judges says, no, they're not anywhere close. Well, they are, but not close enough for the measurement. 3rd down, half yard. Moore will step back into the pistol and now move under center. Connor Johnston, the fullback. It'll be Shippey, the tailback. A.J. Bellinger to the near side. Handoff, this will be Shippey. He'll have the 1st down, but he is punished as he gets to the sticks. Tavarius Hutchinson comes from his safety position and just coffin cornered Jordan Shippey.
I mean, it was a heck of a hit there, Brian. But as you say, we are going to get a. Well, we're going to measure.
Well, they need the 7. The nose of the ball appears to be on the 7. I don't think it was a great spot, but when you get a hit like that, sometimes you're just human. You're just kind of paying attention. It looked as if Shippey had it inside the 7 just from the naked eye. Again, the nose of the ball is on the 7, and the chains are on the 7-yard line, and by a half of the football, Jordan Shippey earned a very hard-fought half yard.
And Pioneers are now going to have 1st and goal at the 7-yard line, knocking on the door against West Alabama.
So here come the Pioneers, 1st and goal. A Pioneer team that scored just 10 points last week, and their first touchdown came with 11 seconds to play in the football game. 9:17 on the clock. The offensive line was challenged this week. And although it's been tough sledding for Jordan Shippey in that running game, and that running period for the Pioneers, he does have 7 carries and 15 yards. Jake Moss will go in motion. 2 wideouts to the near side, including Bellinger. Shippey adjusts to the left shoulder of Bryce Moore. They throw across the middle looking for Moss. It's incomplete. The Pioneers had wide open Tyron Hundley in the end zone, and the ball goes sailing over his head, and Moss couldn't hang on to it. It hit him in the hands, dropped it. It's 2nd and goal.
Had a good chance to catch that ball, Brian. It's a shame that the Pioneers aren't celebrating the touchdown, but either way, 2nd down and goal for Tusculum.
So Bryce Moore getting the start today for this Pioneer team after a very poor first possession. A great kickoff return by Thurlow Wilkins. The Pioneers get a break on an unsportsmanlike and get an automatic first down on a penalty, and the drive continues, but 2nd and goal from the 7. Pioneers will go with their beef package, and Jordan Shippey trying to break outside, goes airborne, and he is taken to the ground by Jordan Jones at the goal line, at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a yard. He gets into the air, and Jones with a big-time hit. 3rd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, Jones just read that perfectly, and whenever Jordan tried to leap into the air for some reason, Jones went with him and just pile drive him.
So the Pioneers, who had Dexter Hunt in as the tight end, extra blocking back, are not being able to keep this very big West Alabama defensive front out of the backfield. Jordan Shippey's had a rough go. Now already 8 carries in this football game. So Moore backs up into the gun. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Herring, the center, ready to go. There's the snap. Looking. Moore chased, and he'll deliver a pass at the 4 to the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown, Chavis Williams. Chavis Williams from Bryce Moore, and the Pioneers are on the board.
Don't think that was the first choice for the touchdown, but it worked out when every quarterback got flushed out of the pocket. Moore was just doing, or Williams was doing his job. He got into the open at about the 3 and was into the end zone.
Williams' 3rd catch of the year, first touchdown, and the first touchdown toss of the career of Bryce Moore. As the Pioneers a point away from tying it up, Dylan DeBusk will hold it for the Pioneers. Short snapper Cameron Yarlett. Snap, hold, kick by Andrzejewski is up and good, and we're tied. We go to a break, 8:08 to play in the opening quarter from Pioneer Field, where it's Tusculum 7, 20th ranked West Alabama 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin.
Are you serious? Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Pass to Chavis Williams, and can't be stated enough, Joe. The Pioneers caught a bit of a break with an unsportsmanlike there on the drive after they were stopped shy of that first down. Not sure if they would have gone for it or not, but they took advantage, something they did not do last week, of the opportunities given to them.
Well, anytime you're given an extra set of downs, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's exactly what the Pioneers did. I'm sure right now West Alabama not real happy with itself for giving up the first down that led to the touchdown.
And Andrzejewski to kick it away. Salisbury is back deep. He's going to step up and field this one at the 11-yard line. Start up the middle, then kick it outside. The Pioneers do a good job staying in their lane. Isaiah Dunn staying in his lane, and the Pioneers with the big special teams play as well by Nick Jackson. Both of those two have been thrust into the starting lineup, playing different positions. Jackson is the bandit today, and the free safety is Isaiah Dunn, but a great stop pinning the Tigers back inside the 25.
Jackson and Dunn both did a good job reading the field. They watched where the ball carrier was coming. Had one guy trying to block both Jackson and Dunn, and that just didn't work out.
It's a Pioneer team tying the game at 7. On that last possession, 8:02 to play here in this opening quarter of play against the 20th ranked team. Again, you give Jerry Odom any opportunity to game plan a little extra time, and does a great job. Wingate came in here 2 years ago unbeaten. The Pioneers win that game 25-17. Flags before this play can get underway. And that was an unbeaten Wingate team that was basically kicked out of the number 1 spot in the playoffs after that 25-17 loss.
And I don't think the Bulldog faithful have still gotten over that.
I don't think they have gotten over it. They did come through last year with the big win in the playoffs against West Georgia, who I will probably inadvertently call West Alabama that at some point today, now that I mentioned West Georgia. But 1st and 15, move the ball back to the 19 for the Tigers. Clad in their white uniforms and their black pants. If they had gone all white today, I would have been concerned because they're unbeaten in their all white uniforms. Handoff. This will be Underwood moving inside the 20 and across the 20 to about the 22-yard line before he's taken down there by Cawthon of the Pioneers. That middle linebacker had a great debut last week for the Pioneers against Delta State. 2nd down and about 12.
Had several South Atlantic Conference, Gulf South Conference matchups over the last couple of weeks, Brian, last week and today as well. We'll talk about those as the night wears on.
McDaniels.
2nd down long, Tigers.
Out of the gun. Underwood will move to the left shoulder of McDaniels with 2 wideouts in the formation. The All-American tight end Boyd sent to the left. McDaniels is looking down the middle of the field. D. Alford with a wonderful defensive play, leaping and knocking it away from Tyreek Martin, the intended target downfield. And this Pioneer pass coverage will have to be big. That was a big play.
It really was. D. Alford just leaping high above the intended receiver. Careful not to make contact to draw the penalty. Batted the ball away, and now West Alabama is getting ready to have to set up for 3rd and about 12.
Tycorian Brown will check in for a moment as a corner to the left side. Nick Jackson will step back as the deep safety for the Pioneers here, playing as the bandit as Dunn has come up in some run protection. Pioneers show blitz, and here they come. McDaniels, though, with the good pocket, has a man wide open across the middle. That's going to be Salisbury at the 40 to the 45 and up to the 48-yard line. That'll drive Jerry Odom crazy. They gave up another 3rd down and long. They did that numerous times last week in the first half.
Well, I mean, that's just, you hate to say it, but it's unfortunately we've been doing this, as you and I figured up, 23 years, and we've seen it a long time.
Well, Jerry Odom does not like what he sees out there and calls the timeout. Very upset with the coverage that time, and again, brought in some different guys. I think there was a little miscommunication. Trust your eyes, see what you see, but you can't let number 2 get free. Salisbury, we talked about him a little bit already today, just a little bit more. He was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school, came out of Memphis, and in junior college, went to junior college out of Itawamba, Mississippi. 41 catches for 510 yards. All-State, was a first-team All-Conference, also a Dean's List honoree, and he comes last year to West Alabama, and all he does is become an All-Gulf South Conference performer with 52 catches and 644 yards, but he did his job on the kickoff returns, 838 yards last year. It's a guy who has that kind of accolades that you can't lose in the secondary. You have to pay attention to him.
Well, and that's exactly what happened. The Pioneers did lose him. They weren't paying attention, and it was just a wide-open game of catch once the pass was in the air.
Pioneers next week will be on the road. They'll take on Limestone, and we'll be in Gaffney, South Carolina there. Meanwhile, West Alabama will be on the road. They'll travel to South Georgia to take on the defending national champion, Valdosta State. Out of the timeout, David Johnson back in at corner. He's to the near side, and to the far side goes D. Alford. Alford will step over there to handle the 3rd member of this vaunted wide receiving core in Bailey Blanchard. Blanchard will come in motion across the formation. Set up as the receiver screen, maybe a double pass. That's what it is. He's going to throw it all the way downfield. It'll be incomplete. The official's going to throw the flag on Chris Matthews. No way the receiver had a chance to catch the ball. It was 10 yards over him, and even if the feet get tangled up, there's no way he catches the football.
Yeah, that's just an incredibly typical thing we see here, Brian. No way that ball was catchable.
That's heinous. I mean, that is as awful as it gets. I understand. Now, if it's holding, okay. I get it. If he tugs the jersey, we'll see the call. But if it's pass interference, it's horrible. It's horrible. He has no business catching the football. It's well overthrown by 10 yards. And the official, I'm not sure what he was looking at. Yes, there was contact. Yes, the feet did get tangled. And yes, there was some of that went on. But Salisbury, as good as he is, still was not going to catch up to that ball 10 yards downfield.
No, it was just so far overthrown as uncatchable ball, so therefore pass interference is not supposed to be called.
All right, so the Tigers have an opportunity here with the pass interference to the 36, despite what our opinion is, and see if they can take advantage of a bit of a gift. Here's Underwood. He'll run left side and take it from the 37 down to about the 35-yard line and pick up good yards. Xavier Clemens was there on the stop for the Pioneers, so to bring up 2nd down and 8.
And we continue to see players on both sides getting a little bit verbal and chippy after each play. We've already seen unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Probably going to see another one before the night's over.
So 2nd down and 8 coming up. A huge offensive line for West Alabama. McDaniels is surveying the defensive front. Tusculum does not get set right away, so McDaniels still kind of looking to see what he's looking at. And he's going to hand it off. This will be Underwood. He stopped initially and then just stays on his feet, just takes his patient, just is very patient. Looks a little bit like Le'Veon Bell there. And just kind of slowly moves inside the 35 down to about the 32. There is a flag that has been thrown.
I almost wonder if it's going to be some sort of illegal shift, Brian, because it was after the play had already started and developed and just sort of tossed down.
It's interesting because it's on this near sideline. And it's going to be a holding call, and it's going to go against West Alabama. And at first I thought, well, Jerry Odom is still furious over the pass interference call, and he's going to get himself flagged here because it was kind of just dropped, like you said.
And that's what made me think perhaps it was some sort of illegal shift coming out of the backfield. But as it was a good penalty that the Pioneers were able to take advantage of, and now West Alabama's backed up 2nd down and 18.
So 6 minutes to play here in this opening quarter. Tied at 7. West Alabama on the move, taking advantage of a pass interference call to extend the drive as well. McDaniels under pressure, lets this one fly. Picked off by D. Alford. Flag is going to be thrown, 2 of them, by the way. And the big tight end might have just drawn a pass interference or a holding. That's going to be a tall challenge for the Pioneers, as Quay Boyd at 6'5" is so tough to handle and so tough to deal with that I believe that West Alabama is going to get another call.
Yeah, that's going to be unfortunate, Brian, because Pioneers had the interception. And take a look here, because West Alabama quarterback McDaniels lost his helmet, so should he not have to leave the field for a play?
Yeah, he should. It will be pass interference. It's not on number 4 because number 4 made the interception. But there was some type of hold. There was something that the ball was in the air. However, it's just unfortunate because the Pioneers picked it off.
West Alabama, McDaniels is going to have to go out because Coach Odom saw it, and he pointed out to the officials that he lost his helmet, so they're going to have to substitute at the quarterback.
So Jacob Murphy, who was the backup quarterback last year, the 6'2", 190-pounder, will step in and at least run this play, potentially more, depends, out of Dixon, Tennessee, from Dixon County High School. And it's a 1st and 10 for West Alabama with 5:48 to play here in this opening quarter. Again, the huge penalty on the Pioneers, negating an interception by D. Alford, where TU used to stand for Turnover U last year. Didn't have as many turnovers in Jerry Odom's first 2 years as he had. So Murphy will be out of the gun. And this time he's just going to hand it off. Underwood will get to the 30 and then be taken down. A quick whistle as he takes it to the 29. A quick whistle is something Joe and I have been also asking for about the last 23 years or so.
Yeah, a lot of times things, they just don't let it go, and you get players hurt, you get balls stripped off that shouldn't be, but today, very quick on the whistle.
So the Pioneers on 1st down, and all of a sudden back into the game. McDaniels sits out the play for losing his helmet and is ready to go behind that huge offensive line. 3:31, 3:15 on that offensive line, left to right. This will be McDaniels. He's got a man wide open in the end zone. Somehow Christian Salisbury gets behind the defense. David Johnson is just left watching. Touchdown, West Alabama. McDaniels to Christian Salisbury, his 4th touchdown toss of the year. And for Salisbury, his 1st touchdown reception of the year. It covers 29 yards.
Key plays in that drive. You had the conversion whenever the West Alabama was backed up 3rd and 12. Then you had the 2 penalties. You had the interception turnover, and there another just wide open receiver in the end zone.
So on to attempt the point, Trey Jackson, as the Tigers have reclaimed the lead. Snap is low. Nice job by the holder, but did he pull it? No, he pulled it right through the uprights is what he did. It was a low kick but it's good. 4:58 on the clock. We go to a break with your new score. West Alabama 14, Tusculum 7. Pioneer football will continue after this as you listen to Pioneer football on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus.
Just 26 yards, but 2 pass interference penalties on the drive, allowing West Alabama to keep the drive alive, and then McDaniels hits his second reception of the game. It goes for 29 yards, and it goes to Christian Salisbury, who has 2 big receptions in this game, over 20 yards already, and the Tigers lead the game now by a score of 14-7.
Got 4 minutes 58 seconds left here in the first quarter. Pioneers just need to take the ball, drive down the field, hopefully not rely on luck this time, and just put together a solid drive and try to match this team once again.
One of the top kick returners in the country, Thurlow Wilkins, is hoping for a chance as he stands at about the 5-yard line. Trey Jones put to leather, and he belts one deep, and Wilkins will go 5 yards deep and take a knee this time. Well, one of the best ways to negate a return is to kick it nearly through the end zone, but he'll have to do it again, and he'll have to do it from 5 yards further back, as West Alabama was offsides, it would appear, on the kickoff.
And so that'll be one where the Pioneers will take the opportunity. Maybe they can't get it back into the end zone again, and Wilkins can get a good return.
At their own 25.
So we'll check the flag from the official.
Offside, kicking team, number 3. The 5-yard penalty.
Oh, they're actually going to just take the 5 yards and take it 1st and 10 at the 30.
Still not a bad choice. You know, you're at the 30. You got pretty good starting field position. Take your time. Go back down the field.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. 4:58 on the clock. Jake Moss, did not anticipate seeing him today, will line up in the slot to the near side. For the Pioneers, Hundley will go in motion out of the formation, and they'll deliver to the tight end, a little quick slant, and the blocking there, it's actually Hundley couldn't hang on to it and dropped it. It'll be incomplete. Had it for a moment. Thompson trying to deliver the block downfield and create some interference, but it'll be dropped. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I think West Alabama must have done a good job scouting that play because they were all over it before it even started.
Hundley, the junior out of Mississippi Valley State,
2nd down and 10, Pioneers.
out of Kankakee, Illinois. That last scoring drive, by the way, 6 plays, 76 yards, 3:04 off of the clock, and 2 pass interference penalties against the Pioneers, aiding that drive. And so the question I asked, will they take advantage? Yes, they will. Moore, under duress, is going to deliver out of bounds, gets outside of the pocket, throws it past the line of scrimmage, and to one of the assistant coaches on the sideline for the Tigers. So it'll be 3rd down and 10, and that Tiger defensive front got right through the offensive line easily that time.
Just go whenever they got guys that are big, fast, and powerful up front, it makes it very tough to block.
John Michael Edwards, junior from Montgomery, Alabama, was one of the Tigers applying that pressure, and he was hardly even blocked that time and got into the backfield, forcing Bryce Moore to scramble for his life. So 3rd down and 10 for Tusculum. 3 wideouts near side, 1 to the far side for Tusculum. And Thurlow, Shippey back in at the backfield, and Moore under some more pressure, looking for Bellinger, is incomplete. And in that backfield, once again, more pressure by the defense of West Alabama, as Quanzi Jackson, the senior from Palmetto, Florida, nearly bringing down Moore before he could deliver the pass. It's 4th down.
Jackson's doing a very good job of breaking through Tusculum's offensive front and causing the Pioneers to have to scramble, and now we got the punt team coming on.
And really, all they were bringing pressure was just from 3 players for the most part.
Back to receive number 25, Sid.
And it got enough pressure. And now, after the first punt block of the year last week, the second has come on the first attempt of this game on the first series. And again, another low snap, and Cantrell does well to get it away. Fielded at the 34-yard line, and then down. The punt returner for the Tigers is Sid Thurmond, a 5'5 senior, very elusive in the backfield, but as he catches it, he is brought down nearly where he caught that one. So the tackle made by John Smith, redshirt freshman from Cocoa, Florida. 1st and 10, Tigers leading 14-7.
Good coverage by the Pioneers to get downfield and not let any kind of return take place.
Throwing his 4th touchdown toss of the year, McDaniels on his last throw, but again has only connected 2 of 6 passes, but both for 55 yards, and both to Salisbury for those 55 yards. Again, a little confusion in the secondary, and Salisbury was wide open behind the defense somehow in some way. So before we get started, officials confer and now say we will play. And it's 1st down and 10 from the 34-yard line. Quay Boyd, the All-American tight end, in motion. They'll run the shovel toss to the near sideline to one of the backup, David Johnson, there with the stop. And those two have words. And then the running back for the Tigers with the little extra shove, that's James Smith, the junior, and he's going to be flagged on the near sideline as Johnson, really a smart play by him, to be honest. He was out of bounds, thought he was going to do the takedown, but he just kind of held him up, and James Smith didn't like the fact that maybe he didn't get tackled.
Well, I mean, and this is going to benefit the Pioneers because it's going to be a dead ball personal foul, and after, so it should be 2nd and 11 and then tack on the yardage to that.
Which should make it 2nd down and about 30.
Number 28, a 15-yard penalty. It is a 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 26 will be coming up for the Tigers. And again, as I see it on replay, David Johnson just kind of holding him up, and maybe they shared some recipe ideas, and James Smith did not like the fact that recipe was not a good one and showed his displeasure. 4:23 to play here in this first quarter, but the Tigers right now have the recipe on the scoreboard. They lead it by 7. They have the ball.
Maybe he was just telling him that Alabama mayonnaise-based barbecue is not good.
McDaniels will look over to the sideline. Get the call. 4 wideouts in the formation, 10 personnel. McDaniels across the middle. That's Boyd, and he is basically just dismembered from the ball. He took a big hit, and now a flag comes in very, very late.
Isaiah Dunn was the one who made the play to break up the pass, so now we're having to see what this penalty is. Excessive football, maybe?
Listen, it's an exciting play. They knocked the ball away from Boyd. Dunn with the big hit. Guys just get excited. I don't quite understand. I understand you want to be safety first, but this would be a huge penalty if in fact it is against the Pioneers.
There's no foul on the play.
Yeah, there's no foul on the play. You can't foul excitement.
No. I mean, and that is the name of the game. There is going to be contact. There's going to be big hits.
It was D. Alford who got the hit. Dunn came from behind, and he put all of his shoulder into the chest of Quay Boyd. It was not targeting. It was just a good hit, a well-timed hit by D. Alford. 4:02 to play in this first quarter, 14-7. 3rd down and 28. Back at the 17-yard line of the Tigers. They lead at 14-7. McDaniels on a draw. 20, 25 on the handoff to Smith. He'll take it up to about the 29, and a good open field tackle by Isaiah Dunn makes it 4th down and 15 coming up for the Tigers.
Dunn having a very good game so far today, and hopefully he can keep that up, not just for the rest of the game, but all season.
James Smith put them in a predicament with a unsportsmanlike or a personal foul after the play, and it created the long down situation. Then looking for the All-America Boyd, D. Alford delivered an All-American type hit and knocked the ball free. So, one of the best punters that we're going to see gets away another booming kick. Zach Gaines driving Alford back to the 14, makes a move at the 20, 25-30, 35-40, 45-50. Penalty flags are down as he takes it across midfield and all the way down to the West Alabama 44-yard line. But 2 flags, another shove, and more flags are going to be thrown. We've had more laundry right now on the sidelines, and now a player who has his helmet off is yelling at the officials.
He needs to be taken to his sideline and perhaps kept there.
We're going to have multiple penalties on the play. The officials showed a huge amount of restraint.
One of them's going to be a block in the back against Tusculum. I saw that. I knew that was going to happen. So whatever else transpires after that, it's got to be the reaction to those penalties.
Zach Gaines delivered another booming punt. What a weapon he is in that special teams game for Brett Gilland of the West Alabama Tigers. So you have a guy like that can then just deliver bomb after bomb. And now we've got multiple flags in multiple locations on the field. The football is at about the 49-yard line. We've got a official with his hat off, so that means that another flag has been thrown in that particular occasion. But it all erases a wonderful return by D. Alford, who proves once again, a dangerous punt returner.
Well, I mean, and a lot of that we do have to give credence to. There was a blocking back against Pioneers. So right there, where the 2 penalty flags first came down, we're watching the replay in here in the booth. But then that probably didn't help, where this guy's got his helmet off, jawing to the Tusculum stands. I think it was number 94 for West Alabama.
Well, I think it was, I just saw the block, I just saw the hit, and then in retaliation, the man who took his helmet off, and you can watch for yourself, went after one of the Pioneers. And that's kind of what you see, all the mess that's down there right now. And that's just people just hitting each other.
And then if you'll watch right here at the 40-yard line, whenever this guy gets up, if the replay, no, they cut away.
Well, there's so much going on right now, and the lengthy discussion about whose flag is where, doing what. The initial one, as Joe said, was a block in the back on the Pioneers. And then afterwards, it was just a bunch of retaliation.
Yeah.
And Jerry Odom is still on the sidelines. We get a look at him just beside himself because he's hearing what's going on after the huge return. And I know that Coach Odom probably can't believe it was a clip. And it happened. The clip actually happened at the 50-yard line. And it just took that long for the Tiger returner to go down, but he did go down.
When it's all said and done, they probably just need to go, you know what, let's just do that over.
We've had microphone issues with our referee in the game.
During the kick, holding, return to number 46. After the play,
well, that's wrong.
Fourth line conduct, white, number 14. Also, there's a red ball and fourth line conduct on white, number 94. All the teams are being forced, first down.
Somewhere.
So Tusculum is going to be a hold, which is the wrong call. It should have been a clip in that particular area of the field. So they're going to go back 10, and then Tusculum's going to get 30.
30 going
so they're
forward.
going to get plus 20. So they'll all be enforced. So by the time it's over, the Pioneers will still be in Tiger territory, I think, or just at Tiger territory. Or maybe just at the midfield stripe. So hold on, Tusculum.
Maybe at about the Tiger.
Actually, about where the return happened, right?
So I was going to say the West Alabama 45, but man, I was close. It's going to be at the 43. So.
Which is where D. Alford went down.
Yeah.
So it all came out in the wash.
Yeah, there we go. Let's play football.
Well, our officials have had a tough go of it. Todd Boyd is our referee. Ryan Smith is the umpire. Greg McDade is the linesman. Matt Skeen, the line judge. Side judge, who threw a tough call earlier. Jeff McCroskey, by the way. Homer Ramirez, a field judge. He's new to the conference. And Trey Williams, the back judge. And now a conference.
By my count, there should be 3 West Alabama players essentially on a yellow card.
Yes.
Because they've gotten the unsportsmanlike penalties. They get one more, then they're ejected.
So the referee brought in both offense and defense and said, listen, let's calm down and play football from here on out. Emotion is part of the game, And there has been a heavy amount of emotion here in the start of this one. 1st and 10, Bryce Moore at quarterback. Pass is going to be complete. Deshaun Davis at the 40 and will be taken down at about the 39-yard line. He'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 6.
And since you hate to think about it like this, but it is part of the game, gamesmanship. Pioneers probably need to make sure they keep their composure, but if you've got a chance to, turn the screws just a little bit more and keep West Alabama off its game, get more unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Bryce Moore now 4 of 10 in the game. 2nd down and 6. Handoff will be Jordan Shippey, and he'll take it to about the 38-yard line. Another flag, and that's more business after the play. That is undisciplined
and
football.
And if that's a number 94 who was on top of that, he is ejected.
He already has an unsportsmanlike.
Tackle made by number 11, Quanzi Jackson. Penalty marker on the play.
After the play, personal foul. Fake.
Just a personal foul, not an unsportsmanlike.
The 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Either way, it is a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for the Pioneers, moving closer to the goal line. We did not get the number of who did it because, unfortunately, that's when the mic cut out.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. And again, I'm still a bit shocked of not seeing Thurlow Wilkins in as the running back. And as I say that, I look down there, and lo and behold, it's Thurlow Wilkins in at running back. Under center will come Bryce Moore. 2:35 to play here in the opening quarter still. 14-7 Pioneers. And Wilkins trying to bounce off 1, bounce off 2. Oh, the early whistle blows it dead as he stays on his feet, but the official blew the whistle well before he was even wrapped up.
We talked earlier about the early whistles. Now, that was certainly too early.
We have asked for it for a long time.
Well, there's a difference between a whistle for safety and a whistle to stop a play that's still in progress.
He's not tackled. He's not wrapped up. And he's still, it's early for everybody, right? It's your first game.
It is. First college game. Got several high school games under my belt.
That's true. 2nd down and 10. Wilkins on the left shoulder of Moore, who's back to pass with the snap. He's looking to go deep. This will be Bellinger. He's tackled. Bellinger could not get the football because he was tackled. It will be a pass interference that will go against the Tigers.
It wound up being half the distance to the goal and should be a first down for the Pioneers.
Penalty marker on the play.
We did not target A.J. Bellinger at all in the first half last week, and the loss to Delta State did pick up 3 catches on 4 targets in the second half, and all of them from Bryce Moore. Moore, who has been able to get the start. They will count off 15 yards, apparently.
That's good to get to 15 yards. I would have thought they would do half the distance to the goal because of the position of the football, but hey. And now maybe that's what you're going to discuss.
Look like Caleb Abram, the senior out of DeSoto, Texas, by way of Lamar here to West Alabama. So they did. They went 15 yards inside the 10. And they went down to the 8-yard line.
1st and goal at the 8 for Tusculum.
So from the 23 down to the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. The Pioneers trail 14-7, 1:43 on the clock. And the officials going to have to get together and talk about it again. So many stoppages, and I think they're talking about half the distance here. I think you're right.
Probably so. I mean, unless something has changed, I don't know why that you would have.
It gave us another yard.
Okay, then. So now 1st and goal at the nose of the football on the 7-yard line for the Pioneers.
I guess the ball was at the 22 then. So it is 1st and goal. We're at the 7. 1:43 on the clock. Bryce Moore in the huddle for the Pioneers. Pioneers who come with the beef look. Will Boney is the fullback. Thurlow Wilkins is the running back. He'll get the carry, and he'll have the 5, and he'll take it down to about the 3. Just love how hard he runs, Thurlow Wilkins.
Very good job there, getting some good blocking up front. You get the hold, take advantage.
The offensive line got a decent push that time. It took the second level to bring down Thurlow Wilkins. He did not run it right side. He actually cut it back to the B gap on the left side of that Pioneer offensive line and was able to run over one would-be tackler. He just runs through tackles.
I mean, and that's the thing. He's 6 foot, 200 and what, 20 pounds? No, just 6 foot, 200 even, and it's all power.
No Maxwell Joseph this year, so Thurlow Wilkins is our version of the Beef, and play clock was at 7 seconds, but the Pioneers are going to burn a timeout here before this play can get underway. Founded in 1991, the Pioneer Club helps our student athletes succeed both academically and athletically by providing financial support to our 24 athletic programs. Many great alumni, fans, parents, faculty, and staff have helped build the strong foundation of the Pioneer Club. And over the last 3 years, the Pioneer Club has been responsible for athletic facility upgrades, departmental branding, video streaming enhancements, which has made a positive impact for the student-athlete experience at Tusculum that many of you are watching right now. Be part of this exciting group. Help us make a difference. For information about the Pioneer Club, visit TusculumPioneers.com or call Josh Ely, Director of Athletic Development, at 636-7331. That's area code 423-636-7331.
I'm a member of the Pioneer Club, and you should be too.
And me too. So be a part of that. That is my
I just got my membership card tonight, actually.
Did you get the barbecue sandwich tonight?
No, but I should have.
Because they were good. Bryce Moore is going to adjust, call out the coverage out of the straight eye. Again, the beef package for this Pioneer team. Moore will move a man in motion across the formation. Turn around, hand it off to Thurlow Wilkins. Makes a move at the 2, and he'll take it down to about the 1-yard line. And again, he just does a little shoulder juke. Jerry Odom says he doesn't quite have it just yet, but he's going to get it, and when he does, watch out. Jordan Shippey will come in for this play.
Well, right now it looks like they're going to spot the football just right inside the 2-yard line. I don't know what happened there.
The cord is longer than normal, so it pulled the headphone volume up just a little bit. Shippey is the tailback. 3rd down and goal from just inside the 2-yard line for the Pioneers. Across the formation, Dexter Hunt. Now it's Shippey who stumbles. Jordan Shippey stumbles and falls down again. We say that 2 or 3 times a game.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate when it happens anytime, but it's very unfortunate whenever you're sitting here knocking on the door trying to tie this football game up, as that was most likely the last play of the first quarter.
The Pioneers will think about it. Well, they'll actually not think about it. They're going to send on the field goal team, but they won't do that until the second quarter. We have reached the end of one, and at the end of the first quarter, finally, it is West Alabama 14. It is Tusculum 7. Pioneer football continues after this from Pioneer Field as you listen to Pioneer Football on the Pioneers Sports Network. The point after is no good. And Juski's kick, no good with 14:55 to play here in the second quarter as we return to action. They got back real quick. They decided to set up and kick the field goal, and it's missed. At the end of the first quarter, 14-7. At the start of the second quarter, 14-7. And some of the numbers in this one, each team with 5 first downs through that first quarter. And West Alabama 6 carries, 24 yards. Tusculum 13 for 21. West Alabama's thrown for 55 yards. Tusculum for 30. And penalties have been a big thing. 9 penalties on West Alabama in the first half for 111 yards.
4 penalties for 83 yards for the Pioneers. I mean, those are some big boy penalties. I mean, 4 penalties, 83 yards, almost as many penalty yards as West Alabama has with their 9 penalties in the first half. So it's 1st and 10 West Alabama. The Pioneers have an opportunity to go by the wayside. They'll run a jet sweep, and the Pioneers read it and blow it up in the backfield. Wonderful play by the Pioneer defense, especially on that left end. Jackson Cawthon goes flying in, reads the play, and brings down Tyreek Martin for a loss of 4 on the play, back to the 16. So the Pioneers get a 2nd down and 14 to the Tigers of West Alabama. And it is not McDaniels at quarterback, it is Jacob Murphy. So Murphy in at quarterback for the Tigers. Back to pass, has his big tight end, Quay Boyd. He makes the catch at the 20, and he'll take it up to the 21-yard line. Chris Matthews is there helping defensively along with D. Alford and Ivan Hogans. And it brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers.
Well, right now, Brian, good opportunity for the Pioneers. If they can get another stop here, don't give up a great 3rd down. Force West Alabama to punt and get your offense back on.
So Murphy again in at quarterback for McDaniels, and it's Smith who is the tailback for the Tigers and not Underwood. 4 wideouts in the formation. The snap, Murphy looking under some pressure. He's going to throw it deep, looking for Salisbury. Over the shoulder catch, made it at the 50, 40, 25, down to the 20, and Chris Matthews finally brings him down as he tried to rip the ball free, but in the process it was Christian Salisbury who gets another 30 yards, and what a throw by Murphy.
And that's just a good play. Unfortunately for the Pioneers, wasn't really busted coverage. It was just 2 really good football players on both ends of that pass.
What a pass. And now the Pioneer defense not ready at all. Tyreek Martin with a little catch on a screen to the far sideline, taken out of bounds inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
All right, here will be a wonderful time for the Pioneer defense to get some sort of stop, because you hate giving up those 3rd and longs. You really hate it whenever it results in points for the other team.
3rd down and 9, another big 3rd down conversion after a missed field goal for the Pioneers. The Tigers had not been great on 3rd downs in the game, but hadn't faced many. But the 2 that they had faced that have been long, 3rd down and 15, 3rd down and 9, go to Christian Salisbury, who's having an All-American type day here in the first half. Handoff is Smith. Penalty flag is down after the play develops, and really no gain.
The ball carrier, 28, James Smith.
Smith goes down at the line of scrimmage, but a flag, and it might be an illegal formation against the Tigers, but the officials are looking and they're pointing Tusculum's way. Maybe they just didn't get lined up defensively.
It could be offsides against the Pioneers.
A lot of standing around for the Pioneer defense this particular set.
Offside.
And that was it. They just weren't, they were offsides. I'm going to say Devin Woodson, who was saying, but I wasn't even close to the line of scrimmage.
Good question there, Brian.
So to the 4. Is it 1st down? I guess so.
1st and goal for the West Alabama.
Negate that play. So 1st down and goal. Murphy at quarterback, guiding them down here from the 20 to the Pioneer 4. Murphy to pass, looking for Quay Boyd back in the end zone. He overshoots his 6'5" tight end, incomplete. Well covered that time by D. Alford and Isaiah Dunn, and it'll be 2nd down and goal.
And you jinxed me earlier when you kept saying that you were going to call them West Georgia. I repeatedly just about called them the Wolves, and that's West Georgia. They're the West Alabama Tigers. We both have to remember that.
Out of the gun, Murphy. 2 wideouts near side. Boyd, the tight end, lined up to this near side as well. The Tigers go left to right on your radio dial. This will be James Smith. He'll get up the middle. He'll break the Jackson Cawthon tackle. He'll take it down to just inside the 2-yard line, which is where the Pioneers were here on this side of the field at the end of the first quarter moments ago, and they were held out of the end zone. They brought out Thurlow Wilkins, the big 6', 200-pound back, and brought in Shippey, who slips and falls, and then they miss a field goal.
Yeah, it's a bad break for the Pioneers. I'd love it if this game was tied.
Tigers go quickly, and it'll be Murphy, the quarterback, who will fake the handoff, take it himself, and touch pay dirt. Touchdown, West Alabama. Touchdown, Jacob Murphy, as he touches pay dirt from a yard away.
Well, right there, West Alabama did a good job of selling the play to the left of the field, and Murphy pulled it back to the right, and now they're getting ready to try to extend their lead to 21-7 with this extra point attempt.
Well, back blow, just a huge blow to the Pioneers as Murphy just with a huge completion to Christian Salisbury, who, now he's 115 yards on 3 catches in the game, and the point after is up, and the point after is good. A 60-yard play on this drive to Christian Salisbury to give the Tigers a 2-touchdown lead. We go to a break, back with Kickoff with your new score. 12-11 to play in the opening half. 20th ranked West Alabama 21, Tusculum 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus? What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Hello, my name
on WSNG with Brian Staten and Joe.
Brian Staten, Joe Bird, and our game station engineer, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, is Nathan Humbard. On the TV side of things, Nick Forsberg and Trey Hinton, along with Zach Hartle, showing you and giving you some great pictures of today here from Pioneer Field. Not so great for the Pioneers, as they have just watched the Tigers travel down the field 80 yards thanks to a 60-yard bomb by Murphy to Christian Salisbury. Just a perfectly thrown ball in stride. The kick by Trey Jackson will be short. It'll be fielded by Wilkins at the 11. Thurlow Wilkins gets hit, sheds off that would-be tackle at the 20, takes it across the 25 and up to about the 27-yard line. Just love the way Thurlow Wilkins plays the game of football.
He does, doing a great job so far here in his young career, doing a good job tonight. Not quite the return that he would have wanted, didn't give him a chance to get up to a head of speed, but still fairly good starting position for the Pioneers.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Need some points on this drive. Just had a missed field goal from a chip shot for Andrzejewski just moments ago. Love to have that one back, I'm sure. 2 missed field goals now on the season, but the missed definitely hurts. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of the Pioneers. Bryce Moore in at quarterback. Connor Johnston, the H-back, will line up behind Hundley, the tight end, on the left side. Jordan Shippey is the tailback, and the Pioneers didn't get the playoff in time.
You don't want to add insult to injury with more simple mistake penalties. Some of your penalties do happen. These are the ones that you really can't have happen, Brian.
A couple of the penalties that happened last week, again, it puts you behind the chains. You want to win first down. You don't want to lose first down. In other words, you want 2nd down and 6, 2nd down and 4, somewhere in there. It means you've won first down. Now it's 1st and 15. So even if you get 5 yards here, it's still 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you've lost it down, so you got to have a big play.
1st and 15, ball back at the 23 for Bryce Moore. Little receiver screen. Welcome to the season, Jake Moss, but he'll go for 0. It'll bring up 2nd down and 15. Again, just great team speed for West Alabama. Those linebackers, they basically just play straight downhill. And coming downhill to make the stop will be the legend Jordan Grady.
In that situation, Brian, you really have to question what you're thinking. You're already backed up 1st and 15 deep in your own territory, and you go with play selection that guarantees you, at best, a short pickup.
Jordan Shippey will line up to the right side of Bryce Moore out of the gun. 3 wideouts in the formation. Hundley, the tight end, near side, looking for Jake Moss, and this pass is over the intended target of Jake Moss, and that's Grady in coverage once again. It's 3rd down and 15 for the Pioneers.
Well, I do like the idea, or now that the Pioneers were finally looking down the field and not side to side. Unfortunately, the execution just didn't go their way.
Well, that's good coverage by West Alabama. They kind of stepped back and went into that cover 2 look a little bit. Grady kind of stepped back, kind of plays like a bandit. He'll play up at the line of scrimmage and run protection, and he'll drop back into some coverage. At least that's what he's done. And now it's kind of an umbrella coverage because nothing behind you on 3rd down and 15. A.J. Bellinger will line up in the slot to the near side, trips to the near side for the Pioneers, including Jake Moss, and 1 wide out to the far side. Shippey in the backfield, Moore back to pass, under some pressure, steps up, and is going to take off. He had some room to run, but it is closed down in a hurry as he crosses the 30 and takes it up to about the 32-yard line. And defensively, that is Josh Hatcher, the junior from Roanoke, Alabama. It's 4th down and 7.
Well, the pickup you had on that play, Brian, just think if you didn't have the penalty, if you didn't have the
first bad pass.
The pass for no gain where you're still at 2nd and 15, you're probably having a first down instead of having to punt again from your own territory.
So this has been an adventure. The punting situation, this time it's a good snap, but here comes West Alabama and maybe one of the best punts of the season for Cantrell, and it's a fair catch asked for by Sid Thurmond inside the 35 at the 34-yard line, which is where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 here in this second quarter of play. They lead the game 21-7, and the Jacob Murphy touchdown moments ago on their last drive capped a 7-play, 80-yard drive, 2:44 off the clock. And in the receiving game today, Christian Salisbury with 3 catches, 115 yards, and a long of 60. They've already had a National Player of the Week in their punter, Zach Gaines, last week, 46.7-yard average against Limestone. Right now, Christian Salisbury is having a Player of the Week, a National Player of the Week type game.
I mean, it's just, you think back what he's done here so far, and it's been phenomenal, and it's still very early.
So the running game for the Tigers from the 35 will take them up to the 39. That is Underwood, with McDaniels back in there at quarterback as well for the Tigers. And it'll bring up 2nd down and close to 6 for West Alabama.
Yeah, not the exact pickup that the Tigers wanted, but certainly a good start here, 2nd and 6 at the almost near the 40-yard line.
So McDaniels out of the gun, and Underwood lining up behind him. Behind that huge offensive line for the Tigers. McDaniels with the snap, back to pass with some time and letting it develop. Throw it across the middle. It's going to be complete to Martin at the 45. He'll be tripped up and taken down at the 50-yard line. It'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
That was a situation where West Alabama did its job to get Martin into open space and just get enough yards for the first down.
I just love the patience of the play as well against the Pioneer secondary coverage. Secondary is very confused, and they throw to that confused secondary, and this will be Martin with the catch. Heads up play by a Division I transfer out of Delaware State. It's a gain of 12 down to the Pioneer 39-yard line. The Pioneer defense is reeling right now.
I don't know that I would really call it hurry up, but in that situation, West Alabama did a good job of recognizing that Tusculum wasn't set and got the play off quickly.
Tycorian Brown was definitely confused on the play. Maybe the play didn't get in from Isaiah Dunn. Again, playing without Malik Goodman today. And an interception. Jackson Cawthon comes up with the pick on McDaniel. They go quickly, and Cawthon steps right in front. His dad, the defensive coordinator at Arkansas State, they had a tough game today at Georgia, but Jackson Cawthon with the big-time pick, and the Pioneers turn away this drive against the West Alabama Tigers.
Great job by Cawthon. I don't know that you'd necessarily call it jumping the route as slowly as it developed, as much as he just read the route, stepped into the right place, and got himself between the quarterback and the receiver and was able to get the ball back for the Pioneers.
Thompson along with Deshaun Davis to the far side. Bellinger comes to the near side. Bryce Moore needs a player. He says, I'm minus somebody. And so in off the sidelines, coming in to check in is going to be Desmond Arthur, who will check in as the slot. 4 wideouts, 10 personnel for the Pioneers. This will be Moore. He'll run the pocket. He'll have big running room, 45-50, and he takes a slide at about the Tiger 47-yard line. The Pioneers pick up 13, and this is the strength of Bryce Moore, the very mobile quarterback in the backfield, and we had a first chance to really see that there.
Well, I mean, whenever you think about a redshirt freshman quarterback, 6'4", 215 pounds, you wouldn't think he would be that mobile, but he certainly was. Not just mobile, but smart to read the play and get the hole.
9 minutes to play in the half, 21-7 West Alabama. Pioneers tied it at 7 and then have given up 14 unanswered. And again, Moore's going to take off. He's going to be tracked down by Jordan Jones near the line of scrimmage, and then Moore is going to carry him for 2 yards. So 2nd down and 8 from the Tiger 45-yard line.
You know, almost shades of Corey Russell on this play by Moore. He's looking downfield to complete a pass. Can't find anybody, so he's just going to take off, and even a bad play still resulted in a gain.
Tigers defensively, Jones on one side and On the other side, Terrence Jones. You've got Jordan Jones and Terrence Jones, no relation, on either side, and both just wreak so much havoc on the outside for that Tiger defense. Moore's under center. Quick three-step drop looking for the tight end. Hundley complete at the 40. The ball has come free. The Tigers say they have the football.
They do have the football, but he should have been ruled down.
The officials are talking about it. They think they have recovered it. They're still talking about it. Side judge on that far sideline stepped away from the West Alabama coaches quite quickly. There's still a conference. Hundley caught it. I don't know what they're going to rule here. The Pioneer offense is staying on the field, but the defense of the Tigers has already left the field.
I'm trying to keep one eye on the field and one eye on the replay back over here behind us.
They're going to say third down and about a yard. Yeah, third down about a yard for the Pioneers.
Yeah.
He was definitely down.
He was down, so good job of the officials to get together, confer, and come up with the right call.
What's scary is that he was well down. I mean, he was down. Like, it was obvious he was down. That shouldn't have even been a discussion that took 37 seconds of my life right there. Third down and a yard for the Pioneers. And Maurice Gamillion wasn't sure he was going to be able to go today. He is in the backfield. He's going to get a carry. Gamillion will find a tackle off behind the line of scrimmage and struggle to get that first down yardage, which he does, down to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
We aren't even halfway into the second quarter yet. We've already played an hour and 15 minutes of football. You talk about 37 seconds.
True. 15 penalties in that first quarter does not help either. 9 penalties for 111 yards in the first quarter for West Alabama. 6 for 83 yards for the Pioneers in that first half. We have not had a penalty since the first quarter. Out of the gun is Moore. Quick receiver slant to Deshaun Davis. Stays on his feet, but then stays on his feet only to be pounded by the pursuing defense and the outside linebacker, Josh Hatcher, to bring him down near the line of scrimmage. Actually, they say he gets 2. 2nd down and 8 to the Tiger 34.
I don't know if Williams didn't realize he was supposed to be blocking on that play or exactly what happened, but you had Chavis Williams here who could have done a good job of blocking, but as it was, you had 2 defenders going right in on the receiver.
2nd down and 8 for the Pioneers. 6:45 and counting as Bryce Moore sets the offensive line protection. Moves Shippey to his left shoulder. 4 wideouts in the formation, going 10 personnel. Moore will roll the pocket under some pressure and deliver underneath to Chavis Williams, who is pursued and brought down as soon as he catches the ball at the 31-yard line. He'll gain 3 and make it a 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Pioneers.
Yeah, big play for the Pioneers. Now we are coming down to almost 6 minutes left here before halftime. They've got to keep this drive alive and try to put the ball in the end zone.
They actually rule him down at the 32-yard line, so you're not getting much yards after the catch against this team in West Alabama. They have great team speed defensively. Moore has thrown for just 44 yards on the afternoon. Conversely, McDaniel 77, Murphy for 71. Moore to pass. Bellinger complete, 30, breaks a tackle, 25, down to the 21-yard line before he's finally brought down by Grady. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers as A.J. Bellinger has his first catch of the game.
Bellinger doing a good job there, just using his size and strength once he caught the football. He did get the yards after the catch that the Pioneers needed, and now we're moving the chains.
5.5 to play here in this first half. The Pioneers trail 21-7. Down 14-7, had driven down to the 2, faced 3rd and goal, and Shippey slips and falls. They attempt a field goal to start the second and miss it, in which West Alabama goes right down the field and scores. Out of the backfield, here's Jordan Shippey with the catch to the 15-yard line. Hatcher on the stop, brings him down at the 14, gain of 7, make it 2nd down and 3.
Once again, good job by the Pioneers. You know you're not going to get those yards after the catch on that particular play, so make the catch, ball security, and make it down now 2nd down, and give yourself some options. You can take a look out the end zone or reload and come back for 3rd down if you have to.
So Thurlow Wilkins will check in. Hundley will come in as a tight end, so they'll go that 11 personnel and actually bring in Thompson and Jake Moss, who will line up to the right. They stay in the gun. Wilkins on the left shoulder of Bryce Moore. They'll hand it off to him, running to the right. gets caught up with his right tackle, who just couldn't get out of the way. Wilkins unsure which way to go, and his indecisiveness brings him down at about the line of scrimmage. He pretty much brought himself down on his own, but Lilly was there on the stop. He does gain a couple down to about the 12-yard line. Third down.
Third and 1 now for the Pioneers on the 12.
And again, just that indecisiveness. Do I go inside? Do I cut it here? Do I cut it here? And as he was making his decision, his tackle was kind of blocked into him. So it slowed his momentum down immensely. So a straight eye look this time with Shippey as the tailback on 3rd down and a yard. Turnaround, play action pass. Moore to the end zone looking for Hundley. The pass is incomplete, just beyond the outstretched arms of Hundley, and it's 4th down and a yard, and you have to believe as if the coaching staff said, we're going with 2-down territory here anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. You're already down 21-7. You're closing in on halftime. It's your home opener against a very good nationally ranked team. So right now, 3 points is not what you want. You got to try to convert this first down.
So 3:48 to play. Bellinger to the right side. He was out that last play. They go with the double tight look to the left, and Jordan Shippey is the lone setback. One tight end across the formation, blown up in the play. Turnover on downs. Flying in is going to be Corey Proctor, the junior from Brandon, Mississippi. It'll be a loss of about 5, and it was Jordan Shippey in the backfield and not the 6', 200-pound Thurlow Wilkins. And a turnover on downs.
You know, the play I'd really like to have back on that drive, Brian, is if you go back whenever Tusculum had the ball, what was it, 2nd, about 3, and you didn't either even look to the end zone. You just tried to run a short inside running game, and it didn't work out for you. Then that forced you to struggle on 3rd and 4th downs.
Well, the 11 plays comes away empty. An 11-play drive by the Pioneers, who held the ball for 36 minutes last week against Delta State, but had little offense to show for their efforts holding the ball that long. So the interception does not hurt West Alabama. And the running game, Underwood may have fumbled the football, but I think he falls back on top of it as well. He was losing it going into the pile, but then was downed and the whistles blew. He does gain a couple up to about the 19. They'll say actually he has the 20, so it's 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 7 for the Pioneers. 3:25 here remaining in the second quarter.
So 3:20 on the clock here in this first half for this Tiger team, leading 21-7. Play action. McDaniels is looking for a home run ball, and he's got another man complete at the 40 and up to the 45-yard line. One of those back shoulder throws, another one of the things that Cody Edwards had talked about this week in our conversation, says he throws a great back shoulder ball. And now they go hurry up, and they quickly throw a receiver screen, making a man miss in the backfield and then gaining about 5 yards. The Tiger receivers, he'll take it out near the midfield stripe, where it'll bring up a 2nd down and about 5. And in that whole process, Jamoris McMillian, the junior from Montgomery, with those last 2 catches.
That's what I was going to say, Brian. It was McMillian on both of those catches that's moving down. The Tigers are almost to midfield.
2.5 to play. The Pioneers receive the second half kickoff, so a stop here would be huge for this Pioneer team. And the Tigers, don't you think they don't know that? They'd love to get some points on the board here right at the end of the first half. McDaniel out of the gun with the snap. Looking, throwing across the middle. He's got a man wide open at the 25, to the 20, down to the 15, and all the way down to the 12-yard line. Another 1st and 10 on another big play, and another wide receiver who was wide open behind the entire secondary. And on that catch is Devin Hill.
And it just shows you looking downfield and making those completions, having the people to make those completions, pays off big for a football team. 1st and 10 before the chains get set. The handoff from the 10 down to the 5-yard line will go Underwood before he's brought down by Isaiah Dunn. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and a yard from the 5. And Jerry Odom has seen enough again. He burned all of his timeouts in this first half, and he's done so all on defense here in this first half. But the big play, McDaniel right down the middle, and again a secondary that is right now being shredded. We take a break. Let's step aside 30 seconds. Back to Pioneer Field. 1:57 left in the first half. The Tigers lead the Pioneers 21-7.
My name is Jacob Faith, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Tusculum University. I'm proud to share with you that the programs in the College of Business received accreditation through ACBSP in December of 2018. The Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs accredits business schools and programs worldwide. This accreditation elevates our programs to the top programs worldwide.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin.
Are you serious? Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
20, and Murphy, the backup quarterback, throws a 60-yard bomb to Christian Salisbury. Well, he throws about a 30-yard bomb, and then Salisbury does the next 30 yards on his own with a Chris Matthews hanging all over him trying to rip the ball away. Didn't work, and they eventually get into the end zone to lead where they have it now at 21-7. This is going to be McDaniel. He was going to give it to Underwood and then kept it and then goes forward to the 5 where it'll bring up third down and about a half yard now.
And that's one of those things, Brian. Nothing is linear. You can't say this happened, so this and this and this.
Right.
But the Pioneers have had 2 chances to get in the end zone here in the first half, and they've not done so. You know, whenever they had the ball down on the goal line, and then I think they should have had an opportunity to score a touchdown on this last drive.
Yeah. And let's really think about it. I mean, that's a 14-point swing. Pioneers have a chance to tie the game at 14. And instead of tying it, they watch the Tigers go right down the field and take a 14-point lead. And now threatening to take a 21-point lead, facing third down and about a yard. Double tight set to the right side. This will be McDaniels to hand off to Underwood. He has the first down. Ivan Hogan's with the final blow. He is shading Quay Boyd. That's kind of been his responsibility today. Team's leading tackler from a year ago with the stop. But it will be a first down to the 3-yard line. The officials, I think, want to measure. And you know, as I eyeball it, the line to gain is just shy of the 3, and the nose of the ball is on the 3. Which would make this a first down by half the football. Now, that's just me.
Well, they do know that they don't get paid by the hour in this game, right? So, I mean, we're already at, 7:24. Game started at 6. It's not halftime.
It's a first down by half the length of the football.
That's Tusculum men's soccer versus Louise McRae, Wednesday, September 25th at Pioneer.
My builder's here.
He could be working. It's daylight.
Exactly. What's he do? He said he was going to take a break today. So a minute to play here in this opening half. The Tigers and McDaniels has a first and goal at the 3-yard line. That double tight end set will move to the left side. Quay Boyd, the All-American, lined up as the H-back. Handoff Underwood straight up the middle behind that massive offensive line. They're going to rule him down at about the 1-yard line. Again, an offensive line, 272, 333, 330, 331, and 315. And right up the middle, 333, 330, 331. That's massive.
The big old boys up there.
McDaniels wants to call a timeout.
You're seeing your builder here, and I'm fortunate enough I got to talk to 4 former students here. So it's good whenever we've got local high school graduates coming right down the road here to Tusculum University.
And come on out and check out, and a good crowd here today again. See a few empty seats right here in the middle and at the very far end of the home section, but good crowd. The student section in full swing, which is clearly listed, but not many students in the student section.
No, the students, they want to be down there in front, and everybody's standing and having a good time. And they were late arriving because we commented right at the start of the game that, well, it's kind of empty here, but once the ball game got started, the weather cooled down, sun went behind us, everybody started coming out.
That sun going down really helps. Next week, the Pioneers will open up conference play. They'll take on the Saints of Limestone College. Joe and I will be there in Gaffney, South Carolina at noon with a 1 o'clock kickoff time. And then following that will be a Saturday afternoon in Newberry, South Carolina. So in the Palmetto State for the next 2 weeks and in conference play as well before homecoming on October 5th here at Tusculum. And the 2019 Homecoming Golf Tournament will be held Friday, October 4th at Graceburg Hills Golf Club. held in conjunction with Homecoming Weekend. The 4-person Captain's Choice event will begin at 12:30. Lunch and registration and a shotgun start at 1:30. You can register online at TusculumPioneers.com or call Josh Ely at 636-7331. Get signed up for that homecoming golf tournament, always a homecoming favorite. So 31 seconds left in the half. Second down and goal for the Tigers, who have 2 timeouts remaining. Pioneers with none. West Alabama will huddle, and they'll come with a formation, an offset eye to the right, and Blanchard moved. They tried to go with the quick count, and I don't think the snap happened right away. Back them up 5 yards.
Number 89.
So a false start on their slot receiver, the all-conference, Bailey Blanchard, who has not been targeted in the game today.
No, and the clock didn't help the Pioneers there because it didn't start, but whenever you're back in West Alabama up 5 yards, now they've got 6 to get into the end zone.
So from the 6, Blanchard will come to the near side. Griffin Salisbury to the far side. Underwood behind McDaniels, who's in the pistol, and Quay Boyd in the slot near side. Pressure comes, gets rid of it just in time, and Salisbury, does he make the leaping catch? He does. Catch is made right in front of Nick Jackson. Touchdown, West Alabama, and Christian Salisbury is having a phenomenal first half.
Yeah, I don't. Looking forward to looking to the replay on that one because it was almost looked like it short hopped.
It appeared to be tipped at the line of scrimmage, as Trey Jackson will come out to attempt the point after. Snap, hold, kick is up, and good. So 26 seconds to play. We won't take a break right here, so close to the half. But some good pressure on the blitz. Maybe it wasn't tipped at all. It was just kind of a lobbed pass to Salisbury, and he makes the catch. He thought he made the catch right away.
Yeah, it did. It looked like he did get his hands underneath the ball, but I was watching its flight because I'm like you. I thought it got tipped, and it looked like it might have hit off the grass, but he got his hands under it, and West Alabama's extended its lead.
9 plays, 83 yards, takes 3:18 off the clock, and it started by the turnover on downs at the West Alabama 17-yard line. It came with 3:44 to play in this half, and it ended on the touchdown pass from McDaniels and into the hands of Christian Salisbury, who's just continuing to have a phenomenal first half. 4 catches, 121 yards, and 2 scores, and a long of 60. He's averaging 30.3 yards every time he catches the ball.
Just a phenomenal player coming in here doing the work tonight for West Alabama.
McDaniels, 8 of 14 for 150 yards, a passer rating near perfect, 180. And Bryce Moore for the Pioneers is 10 of 18. He's having a good day, but only 59 yards. Running game not into full swing just yet for this Pioneer team. They have 44 yards on the ground, just 59 yards through the air, and West Alabama has thrown for already 221 yards. Trey Jackson to put foot to leather and kick it away. Need a little magic here before the end of the half. Down 28-7. Thurlow Wilkins pinned inside the 10 at the 6, across the 10, 20, and up to the 24-yard line. And another flag after the play, as involved in the play was Terrence Jones and C.J. Bartley for their respective teams, and I believe it's going to be Terrence Jones who's going to be flagged here.
Well, just have to wait and see. His teammates did come in to rush him over back to the Wolves, the Tigers side of the field.
Well, you know, Newberry the Wolves, and they wear
Wolves.
the red and white, the scarlet, gray, whatever you want to say. So, I mean, it's a little bit confusing today. So, after the play, the first penalty of substantial yards to be assessed.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 9, White.
So that will be Terrence's.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 24, Black. Those penalties were offset.
And it's not 24 David Johnson, it's 34.
Either way, the penalties do offset, but that is the 4th unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against West Alabama.
Well, they're going to have to get that right because that penalty did not go against David Johnson.
No.
The starting cornerback, C.J. Bartley, was involved, so they'll offset him. Pioneers will get the ball to start the second half. And what is the decision here? I think Bryce Moore has looked decent today in this football game. The offensive line has done a decent job. They just haven't finished drives. Moore going to turn around and hand it off to Maurice Gamillion, who tried to reverse fields, and he nearly loses the football as Kawanzi Jackson was not fooled. And the clock is going to run out and end the half.
Missed opportunities is the story of this first half of the Pioneers. West Alabama had some big plays, but Tusculum didn't do itself any favors by not answering.
Pioneers drive down inside the 20-yard line on two different occasions, and they come away empty-handed, one on downs, one on a missed field goal opportunity as they got to the 1-yard line and attempted the field goal instead of going for it and were turned away. And the Pioneers will go to the locker room down by 21 points. The aerial attack and the aerial assault by West Alabama right now in full effect against the Pioneers here in this opening half of play. We go to a break and we return to Pioneer Field with our halftime report. We'll have a look at this week in Tusculum athletics, your first half statistics, and our first half plays when we return. At halftime, 20th ranked West Alabama 28. It's Tusculum 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin.
Are you serious? Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the pioneer experience for yourself.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Hello, my name is Jacob Fate, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Tusculum University. I'm proud to share with you that the programs in the College of Business received accreditation through ACBSP in December of 2018. The Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs accredits business schools and programs worldwide. This accreditation elevates our programs to the top programs worldwide.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin.
Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the pioneer experience for yourself.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
We welcome you back into the Pioneer Halftime Report. 20th ranked West Alabama leads Tusculum. It's time to take a look at your first half highlights, brought to you by your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. And it started really after the first series for both teams. A 3-and-out for West Alabama, a 3-and-out for the Pioneers, but on the 3-and-out and the punt, a punt block for the Tigers, which set up the Tigers deep in Pioneer territory inside the 10 at the 7. It took little time for them to touch pay dirt to get to the end zone. But he'll get the first carry. He gets away from one tackle at the 5. He looks for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, West Alabama. Touchdown, Derek Underwood, touching pay dirt from 7 yards. Took very little time, just 5 seconds, one play, and the point after by Trey Jackson made it 7-0. Pioneers would answer. They would take advantage of an unsportsmanlike penalty on 3rd down and short where they didn't have the first down. The 15-yard penalty extended the drive, and then it was Chavis Williams who got free for Bryce Moore, who was scrambling into the end zone. Looking, Moore chased, and he'll deliver a pass at the 4 to the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown, Chavis Williams. Chavis Williams from Bryce Moore, and the Pioneers are on the board. Capping an 11-play, 52-yard drive, the Allen Andrzejewski point after makes it 7-7. Took 4.5 off of the clock. But just some 4 minutes later, it would be West Alabama that would get back to the end zone. It would be Christian Salisbury on a 3rd down play that got behind the defense. Daniels, he's got a man wide open in the end zone. Somehow Christian Salisbury gets behind the deep.
You've been choppy today too.
Watching touchdown, West Alabama. McDaniels to Christian Salisbury, his 4th touchdown toss of the year. The 29-yard pass, Salisbury from McDaniels. The Trey Jackson kick makes the game 14-7. Took 3:04 off of the clock. The Pioneers would drive right at the end of the first quarter. They would have the ball down to the 2-yard line and take out the beef package and put in Jordan Shippey and try to spread it out. He would trip getting the handoff and go down right at the 2. The clock would end the first quarter of play, and we would go to the second, siding up to kick a field goal, a short field goal attempt. The Pioneers would miss it. So West Alabama would get the ball on the second quarter, and into the game was Jacob Murphy. And on his second play from a scrimmage on that particular drive, he would hit Christian Salisbury in stride for 60 yards, and Salisbury would actually pick up 30 of that with Chris Matthews on his back. The drive would be capped on a 1-yard run from the backup quarterback, Jacob Murphy. And it'll be Murphy, the quarterback, who will fake the handoff, take it himself, and touch pay dirt. Touchdown, West Alabama. Touchdown, Jacob Murphy, as he touches pay dirt from a yard away. 7 plays, 80 yards, 2:44 off the clock. The Trey Jackson kick makes it 21-7. Again, the Pioneers would drive. They would get the ball inside the 20 to the 17. They would go for it on 4th down and a yard, give it to Jordan Shippey. He would be tackled behind the line 5 yards, and they would turn it over. West Alabama wastes little time. Again, another deep ball, this time to Dion Hill, a 39-yard strike, and it would be 1st and goal at the 6. They would eventually get a Christian Salisbury reception from Jack McDaniels for 6 more. Far side, Underwood behind McDaniels, who's in the pistol, and Quay Boyd in the slot near side. Pressure comes, gets rid of it just in time, and Salisbury, does he make the leaping catch? He does. Catch is made right in front of Nick Jackson. Touchdown, West Alabama, and Christian Salisbury is having a phenomenal first half. 9 plays, 83 yards, makes the score 28-7. Your first half highlights brought to you by your Greenville Light and Power System. That's your Pioneer Halftime Report. We thank our sponsors. Turn around and have kickoff when we return right after this. At the half, West Alabama 28, Tusculum 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin.
Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
The second half of play, Brian Staten, along with Joe Bird and game station engineer Nathan Humber, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network. And from the TV side, Nick Forsberg, Trey Hinton, and Zach Hartle providing some of the pictures here today. Getting set to kick it away is going to be Trey Jackson for the West Alabama Tigers, driving Thurlow Wilkins a yard deep. He's going to take a knee and go down at the 1.
Oh, that's a very bad mistake, Brian.
No, it's not Thurlow Wilkins either, but he goes down at the 1.
Didn't realize he was out of the end zone. Thought he was in, tried to take a knee to get the touchback, and now he's got the Pioneers with 99 yards to drive if they want to put a second touchdown on the board.
And it's Trey Trawick who is in for Thurlow Wilkins for some reason. And last week it happened. Thurlow Wilkins goes down on the 1. On a kickoff. And for the second week in a row, we go down at the 1. So a very inauspicious way to start this second half. There are other scores in the South Atlantic Conference today as well.
Yeah, Brian, 8 of the 9 teams in the conference playing already completed. Number 8, Lenore-Ryan defeated Virginia Union 28-11. Mars Hill won 46-14 over St. Augustine's.
Jordan Shippey's going to be hit in the backfield and might have just gotten out of the end. The far judge is going to say it's a safety. Yeah, it's 2 points.
And that extends the lead for West Alabama here. Give us a good chance to wrap up these scores.
Yeah.
Florida Tech defeats Newberry 30-28. Games in action right now. Winston-Salem State leads Catawba 14-10 at the half. Wingate and Fayetteville State are tied at 14 near the end of the first quarter. Limestone leads West Georgia 7-0 early in the second. University of Virginia at Wise is at Tennessee Tech, and that game is tied at 7 late in the first quarter.
Dane Dameron, the Virginia Wise coach, excited to be in the South Atlantic Conference, and he's got the Cavaliers playing quite well. Welcome to the South Atlantic Conference. We'll have a chance to see them. The safety for the West Alabama Tigers means they'll also get the football back, all set up by the miscue on special teams by new special teams kickoff returner Trey Trawick. And I'm not exactly sure what was going on with Thurlow Wilkins. I'm looking down there on the sidelines to see if I can find him. I do see him without his helmet on the near sideline. So he was a bit dinged up in practice this week, and he may have taken a hit. Again, may have taken a hit somewhere in the game that may have taken his game away. He does have his helmet to his feet, but we're getting some being consoled by a couple of teammates there. Will Boney going over to have a conversation with Trey Trawick. So very interesting. And now the Pioneers will have to kick it away, and instead of punting it away, and Andrzejewski is going to kick it away, the free kick, you have the option, punt or kick it away. A lot of teams will punt for the hang time. And you're going to kick it away to Christian Salisbury. Very dangerous situation here. So this game could get away from the Pioneers in a hurry if the Pioneers don't come up with the big defensive play. So Salisbury's going to field the kick by Andrzejewski at the 24, big opening at the 30, breaks a tackle at the 35 to the 40 to the 45 and up to midfield. And that's 1st and 10 for the West Alabama Tigers. And again, just taking advantage the situation and the safety on the very first play from scrimmage for the Pioneers.
And the chippiness hasn't gone away from the first half, Brian, because I saw one of the West Alabama players just hit a Tusculum player while he was on the ground, but fortunately cooler heads prevailed for the other Pioneers, and they were able to get him out of there.
So from the Pioneer 49, the Tigers will take over 1st and 10. Yeah, I'm wondering if it'll be Murphy or McDaniels. It will be McDaniels. We'll check into the contest to start this second half, leading 30-7, and this is going to be Smith on the carry, breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then Jackson Coffin, career game he has going, his 8th tackle in the football game to break up 2nd down and 10.
Good read there by Coffin, able to just read the play, make the stop, and force out West Alabama to go 2nd down and 10.
So 2nd down long for the Tigers, 2nd down, and we'll call it right at 10. Trailing in the game are the Pioneers at 30-7. Need a big play to stop this Tiger aerial assault. The pass to the far sideline is going to be complete in front of D. Alford, and that's the All-American Quay Boyd on the catch, a little comeback route. But good coverage by Alford right at 10 yards, and it's a 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
The Tigers now with the ball spotted on the Tusculum 40-yard line.
And before they can snap the ball, the officials step in. The Tigers were going hurry up. They got lined up. I'm not sure it was a 1st down. Remember, the line to gain was the 39 and not the 40, because it was 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. We've got a former Pioneer coach tuning in to us tonight. And hey, how's it going? Hope everything is well. Enjoy that new job. This is heinous tonight. It's 3rd down and a yard. They're moving the change. The officials are saying let's go 1st down. It was from the Pioneer 49, which means, see, when Quay Boyd caught it, he was at the 38, but they ruled him out at the 40. So it is 3rd down and a yard for the Tigers.
And just more stoppages when it's not really necessary.
Yeah, it's first game for everybody, 2nd week. 3rd down and a yard. Blitz is coming from the outside, and Underwood is going to be wrapped up and cut under on the blitz from the outside by Isaiah Dunn. And Jerry Odom are rolling the dice and getting the blitz, and it's 4th down and 3 coming up for the Tigers.
And just to add more insult to injury on the time front, there's a good chance we're going to have a thunderstorm passing this way in just a few minutes. I was looking at it on the radar during the halftime, and then I'm getting a text saying the thunderstorm is headed our way.
Don't say that, Joe Bird.
It might miss us just to the west and go into Greenville, but it's at Raytown right now.
Gaines to punt it, little pooch kick, end over end. It's a beautiful looking punt, but he's just hit too much. Again, has too much leg. Just the National Special Teams Player of the Week from D2Football.com from a week ago had 10 punts against Limestone. The Saints, who put up 18 points on this team, and held them to 35. Right now the Pioneer defense has given up 30. It's 30-7. The Pioneers will have the football for the 2nd time this half. Their first came on their own, inside their own 1-yard line, and Jordan Shippey could not get out of the back of the end zone for the safety.
Took another look at radar. Not quite to Raytown yet. More a little bit north of there, but it does look like the small cells headed our way.
Close your eyes, officials. Oh, wait a minute, you've done that much of the game. 1st and 10, this will be Shippey running to the right side, and just not much push by the offensive line. Playing with a couple of backups there, and they were beaten up front last week against Delta State, and not much else going on for the offensive line here in this game either.
No, really not. It's just tough to get started against these good teams, and the Pioneers have struggled against the Gulf South, and the South Atlantic Conference struggles against the Gulf South.
True. Big and fast. Able to get quality players that come to these state-funded universities, especially there in the Gulf South. You got to compete because you got national champions in and out of the Gulf South each and every year, it would appear. In past years, North Alabama, Delta State in 2000, Valdosta State last year. Shippey on a little receiver screen out of the backfield is complete, but the Tigers there to just gobble it up in a hurry from that secondary, and just flying in from the outside, Shamar Lewis out of Dixon Mills, Alabama. Makes it 3rd down and 6 for the Pioneers at the 24.
It's bad to say, but having to play these Gulf South teams really affects the Tennessee and South Carolina schools and the conference more than it does the North Carolina schools, because they wind up with pre-conference games against the CIAA, but where you have Newberry, Limestone, Pioneers, even Carson Newman sometimes playing the Gulf South teams because the CIAA apparently can't get outside the state of North Carolina.
Yeah. Third down coming up. Bryce Moore is going to be sacked for the first time in the game. And Lilly just getting into the backfield for the Tigers. He lost his helmet in the process. He got a little help back there from Jordan Jones as well, and it's going to be fourth down, and the punt team will be out for the Pioneers.
It's just not what the Pioneers needed whenever you're trying to get things going, to have to go that quickly and out.
Last week, Carson Newman did get a win against West Florida out of the Gulf South, so that was promising for the South Atlantic Conference. Next year, the Pioneers will travel to Livingston, Alabama to open the season on a Thursday night under the lights at West Alabama. The very next week, we'll travel down the road down to have Delta State come to Pioneer Field on another Thursday night. Another high snap on the special teams, and just getting it away was Cantrell, but he was also roughed in the process. So the Pioneers are going to get a penalty and keep the football, it would appear.
Look at these opponents. Limestone's having to play West Alabama, West Georgia. The Pioneers playing Delta State, West Alabama.
There's no foul in the play running into the kicker. The ball was tipped. Will be placed in the spot again out of bounds.
They're going to say that the ball was partially blocked, and then they trucked Cantrell. So it's 1st and 10 for West Alabama as the ball went out of bounds at the 17-yard line, a punt of 2 yards.
Continuing what I was saying, Mars Hill and Lenore Ryan both get games against St. Augustine's, and then Wingate gets to play a Whopping Johnson C. Smith and Fayetteville State.
Yeah, it just adds some confidence as you open up. Now you got to play football, you got to compete, you got to execute. And if the Pioneers had executed in this game is a much different contest right now. But right now, if the Pioneers don't come up with a huge defensive play, they're getting ready to get blown out here at home. 20th ranked West Alabama flexing their muscle. The special teams for the Pioneers have not been good, and the punt team so far this year. And under some pressure, but sticking in the pocket and delivering a bullet to a cutting Martin for about 6 yards, maybe 5 yards on the play. D. Alford on the stop down to the 12-yard line, 2nd down and 5.
Just a good delivery by the quarterback. Good job by the right receiver. Fortunately, Alford was there to make the stop.
2nd and 5. Double tight set, Boyd to the right side. Butler to the left side. McDaniels looks near side for Boyd. It goes over his head, and then Blanchard was standing there. It goes off his hands as well, incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 5. 2 Tigers in the same area, and the Pioneers also very confused defensively on that play.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the Pioneers are really going to have to work on between now and next Saturday when we start South Atlantic Conference play. It's just the confusion and mismanagement, I guess, in trying to get yourself set up defensively.
Butler will go out of the game, tied in. Looks like Salisbury is coming off the sidelines. He is. He'll be in the slot on 3rd down and 5 at the 12. 30-7. West Alabama leading the Pioneers here on the home opener on a Saturday night. McDaniel to pass, takes a hit as he delivers, and then it's dropped. Ivan Hogan's had a chance to get it after it was tipped into the air, and Dunn had a chance at a 2nd consecutive interception, had it go down right in front of him. So the kick team will come out for the Tigers.
Well, I mean, if they can hold West Alabama to this field goal here, or even better, if they can block it, you have to almost think it just wound up being a victory for the Pioneers.
True. So it'll be Trey Jackson to step out, the 5'10 senior for the Tigers. Out of Newland, North Carolina, from Avery County by way of Gardner Webb. Snap, hold, kick is up. Bang, good. We go to a break. 5 points for the Tigers here to start this second half. A safety and a field goal. We go to break with 10:39 to play in the third. It's now West Alabama 33 and Tusculum 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
It's fine.
Pointing to the scoreboard.
That's well. It is 33-7. And Chavis Williams is drift back deep. He's going to return a kick. Again, no Thurlow Wilkins. So the question I had at the end of that first half, why wasn't he in there running it on fourth down, has been answered. He's obviously not fit to go. And this ball is kicked through the back of the end zone for a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers, as Trey Jackson has proven to be a very good weapon. Special teams have been very impressed with for West Alabama. Number one, Zach Gaines, 45 yards a punt. And then Trey Jackson he kills the ball every time he kicks it.
Well, I mean, the amazing thing about the game last week for West Alabama to set the number, to punt 10 times?
10 times.
In a win. You don't normally have to punt 10 times whenever you win a football game, do you?
Well, you throw it a lot, so maybe a lot of incompletion. But what does that say about Limestone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, their defense and what they were able to do on the road. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 25. Moore stays in at quarterback. It's Maurice Gamillion. They're going to try to run this quarterback keeper, and Moore has his helmet come off as he is hit behind the line of scrimmage and taken back to the 16-yard line for a loss of 9 on the play. And Moore will have to come out. So our first chance to see Joaquin Collazo, who got the start last week.
Yeah, that's a situation. We need to take a look at that replay, because whenever you have one player holding up the quarterback and another guy comes in helmet to helmet and knocks it off, it's pretty evident what's going on there. But
I'm going to say his momentum was stopped at the 19. We needed a little quicker of a whistle that time. 2nd down, 16. And Joaquin Collazo, the left-hander, got the first start as a left-handed quarterback since our very own Tony Colston got the start. Good discipline by the defense. They just wait and watch to see what's going on. The handoff will take the ball up to the 24-yard line, so 5 yards on that carry there by Gamillion, and it's 3rd down and 11 for the Pioneers.
Got almost yardage back from the loss on the first play, but not quite.
So 9:45 to play. 33-7, West Alabama. They got up to the 7-0 lead. The Pioneers tied it with a nice drive at 7. West Alabama takes the 14-7 lead with the Pioneers driving inside the 5 to the 1-yard line. They attempted a field goal, which they missed, and West Alabama went right down the field and scored to make it 21-7 instead of the game potentially being tied at 14. Collazo's pass is high and incomplete, intended for Maurice Gamillion, and it will be 4th down, and a punt team will be back out for the Pioneers, which has not been very good.
No, and especially even on the last play, we saw the punt went off, started with a bad snap and then a bad punt off the side and gave West Alabama a short field. Hopefully they'll do much better this time.
And a punt block last week, a punt block today. Cantrell had a phenomenal freshman campaign. Has just not been able to have the type of start this year that he would have liked. West Alabama has come after the punter each time. Good snap this time, but again, this one's partially blocked. It'll hit down at the 35, and it will be downed at the Pioneer 34-yard line. They have been able to get through, and they have gotten their hands on 3 punts on the day on Andrew Cantrell.
Just the speed of West Alabama coming through, combined with just that slow exchange from long snapper to punter for the Pioneers, this is a bad recipe.
So 1st and 10, and that will take us to a timeout. We'll step aside. 9:06 to play here in this 3rd quarter of play. It's West Alabama 33 and the Pioneers 7. Pioneer football will continue after this on the Pioneers Sports Network.
It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Meaning there in the Gulf South, but it's very early in the year as well for the top two teams preseason. The Tusculum Pioneers, meanwhile, get the Limestone Saints. The Pioneers were a preseason number 4 pick in the South Atlantic Conference. Behind that, of a surging Lenore-Rhine team who's opened the year at 2-0. Wingate at number 2, Carson Newman at number 3, and the Pioneers just ahead of Newberry. Or pardon me, to the Pioneers just ahead of Carson Newman, who was the number 4 pick. Tusculum somewhere in that mix. I'll look it up here in a second.
It doesn't matter. Those preseason rankings are always subjective, to say the least.
The ground game, ground and pound, for their purposes, for West Alabama's purpose, goes for little to nothing right here. So it'll bring up a second down very close. It was Carson Newman, the 3 pick. Tusculum a vote behind them at number 4 and just ahead of Newberry at number 5. So Limestone was preseason number 8. But again, all that just something for us to talk about before the season gets underway. McDaniel's going to go down the field for a leaping catch. Did he come down with it? They say he did come down with it. Touchdown, West Alabama. Phenomenal by Martin.
Just a fabulous throw. Wide receiver going up over the defense, coming down with the football right at the corner of the pylon, and there was the touchdown.
What a phenomenal catch. Tyreek Martin, who the Pioneers recruited heavily, tried to get to come here to Tusculum. West Alabama won that battle. And man alive, what a catch. Just kind of aired up and thrown up there, and he just went up and made a play. And now it'll be Jackson to attempt that point after. Daniels having a wonderful night once again. Just put him right there, I think, over 200 yards. And the point after by Jackson is up, and the point is good. So we go back to a timeout after a new score. 8:32 to play in the third. It's West Alabama 40 and Tusculum 7. Pioneer football will continue after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Hello, my name is Jacob Fate, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Tusculum University. I'm proud to share with you that the programs in the College of Business received accreditation through ACBSP in December of 2018. The Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs accredits business schools and programs worldwide. This accreditation elevates our programs to the top programs worldwide.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County, you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to
himself at West Alabama. Would have been nice to have seen him suit up in a Pioneer uniform, not to be. So Jackson set to kick it away. Chavis Williams is back deep along with Maurice Gamillion. This will be Gamillion on a hop from the 10. 15-20, 25-30, and that's where Gamillion will go down at about the 30-yard line. And as a matter of fact, took a hit and the tackle from a young man who is still on the ground. That's going to be Shamar Lewis. Might have just taken all of Gamillion's body weight right to his shoulder, but it's 1st and 10 for Tusculum at the 30.
And do have another timeout on the field. I guess officials calling timeout while they're trying to get the shaken player off the field.
Pioneer football team last week just 10 points against Delta State. Things looked real promising here with Bryce Moore at quarterback, as he did get the start, but it's now Joaquin Collazo who is going to come in for Moore, who took that hit, lost his helmet. And so Collazo, who got a couple of snaps and fully anticipated seeing both of these quarterbacks. So Collazo is in. Jordan Shippey with the carry from the right side. Makes a couple of guys miss. Cuts it back at the 35, at the 40. And then Jordan Shippey is caught and downed at the 41-yard line. So an 11-yard gain for Jordan Shippey. And that is his longest rush of the game. And his second longest rush of the year.
And first down for the Pioneers, move it up to their own 41-yard line as we come down to 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
So we know Jordan Shippey fully capable with the type of games that he has had in the past for this Pioneer team. Has a 1st and 10 at the 41. So Collazo will step back into the gun for the Pioneers, and 4 wideouts in the set. Pass to the far sideline, looking for Bellinger on a receiver slant, is incomplete, a bit high, and it brings up 2nd down and 10.
It's going to be a tough pass to catch, even as with Bellinger's size. He tried to reach up and get the football, but it was just overthrown.
And just to finish up on the Jordan Shippey thought, 258 yards, a school record against Limestone last year. A year from next week. Actually, it was a year from today that he scored the 258 yards on the 14th of September. On 2nd down and 10, this will be Shippey running to the right, trying to get his right tackle out of the way. Breaks a tackle at the 45, and he'll make his way up to about the 48-yard line. So a tough run on 2nd and 10 for about 8 yards. Makes it 3rd and very manageable for the Pioneers.
That's what you like to hear, that 3rd and manageable. That means that they're just churning off the yards a little bit at a time, getting what they need, and putting themselves in position to be successful.
About 3rd down and 4, they say. Must have gone down before he broke that last little surge. So 3rd down and a long 3, short 4 for the Pioneers. And on 3rd downs, not been real good on tonight. 4 for 11. In the game for the Pioneers. We have grand total of 128 yards of offense. Looking for Jake Moss, and he undercuts the receiver who had a hold of his shoulder pad, and then on his cut, he overcut and overran the ball and then couldn't come up with the catch. And it's 4th down for the Pioneers.
Yeah, he was twisting all sorts of ways, trying to get in position to catch a football. Unfortunately, the last twist was just a little bit in the wrong direction.
So the Pioneers put in the punt team, and it'll be Cantrell who will drift back. And again, it's been a tough go for this unit, and I feel bad for Cantrell because he's waiting on that ball to get back there. You got a new long snapper this year. You got some new protection trying to protect Cantrell, and West Alabama this time won't come after him. I think they're tired of blocking punts. And Cantrell gets away a beauty.
Best punt of the night because he had the time. He wasn't under pressure from that West Alabama special teams defense. And at least now the Pioneer defense has got a little bit of room to work.
Thurman with the fair catch at the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Tigers. And still in the 3rd quarter, by the way. 6:47 to play. This seemed like a long time, but, really just a little bit after 8 o'clock. We still have that storm coming?
Yes, it is getting closer.
Oh.
And getting bigger. So we're probably going to see a little something from that.
Hope the officials aren't looking that way. Oh, yeah, now I see it. Oh, good times. And it's not very big, by the way.
No, it's just small cell.
So it will be the Tigers leading at 40-7. And a chance to see, and some of the backups have been in quite often and early in this game, but even if you throw in Murphy in there, he's thrown a touchdown, or nearly thrown a touchdown, and run for a touchdown, but it is McDaniels who is in the game. Smith on the carry here, and Ivan Hogan's there on the stop defensively for the Pioneers. Ivan Hogan's has been quiet tonight primarily because of the scheme. He's been covering up the tight end and the All-American Quay Boyd, and that's best on best. And Boyd has been quiet. Here is a fumbled snap exchange, and McDaniel just picks it up, and right there is the story of the game. When the Pioneers have had an opportunity, they have not been able to take full advantage. McDaniels picks it up and scurries forward for about 3 or 4 more yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 2.
Yeah, it seems like that's the way it's always been. Breaks happen for the Pioneers. They can't take advantage. Breaks happens for whoever they happen to be playing that day, and mistakes turn into good things.
3rd down and 2 at the 27.5. Need just about the 29.5. McDaniels will work from the gun. Smith lines up behind him out of that pistol formation with the snap looking far sideline. Has a man. That'll be complete at the 30 and up to about the 34, maybe the 35-yard line. And that's going to be Quay Boyd on the short catch, but the sure-handed tight end, the All-American, makes it 1st and 10 to the 34.
Yep, 1st and 10 for the West Alabama Tigers as we go down under 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
40-7, Tigers with the lead. 33 unanswered for this Tiger team. And handoff to Smith, just trying to pick his way across the 35. And he'll make it up to about the 37-yard line. There's Ivan Hogan's once again for the Pioneers. And they'll bring up 2nd down and about 7.
Yeah, Hogan's having a good job. He's getting around the football when he can and making the stops.
Hogan's who, again, was covering up Quay Boyd, and it was kind of his responsibility. It looks as if he's come off that assignment. And Jerry said, you need to go out there and make tackles. Just make plays. Limited to just 2 tackles in that first half. Already 2 on this drive. This will be McDaniels. He's looking downfield. David Johnson defending it. Got his hands on it and couldn't reel it in. Incomplete, but good coverage by David Johnson as they were looking downfield for Dion Hill. Incomplete, brings up a 3rd down and 7.
Johnson upset with himself that he didn't get the interception, but I really don't see why he needed to be. It would have been a wonderful thing to get the interception, but just the fact that he got his hands on the ball was a testament to the defense he was playing.
Well, Christian Salisbury's had a phenomenal game today. Jonas Spivey is checked in. Dion Hill is in. You still have Quay Boyd in the contest. And the backup wide receivers, backup running back in for Jack McDaniels at quarterback here in the third quarter. On 3rd down and 7, the pass across the middle to Spivey is complete at midfield and brought down there in front of Tycorian Brown for a 1st and 10 to move the chains on a 15-yard pickup.
Ball is spotted directly at midfield. 4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Gain of 13 on the play for the Tigers. With 4:10 to play, there is time, but the Pioneer defense must get a stop, and then some miraculous things must happen for this offense, which has been very maligned tonight. 128 yards of offense to 333 yards of offense for West Alabama. Again, McDaniels to pass with some time, delivers as he's hit, and it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of Tycorian Brown. And if that sounds familiar to Pioneer fans, it is, because he plays for us. He just couldn't hang on to the interception, and it's 2nd down and 10. Good pressure that time by the defensive line.
They did. The defensive line was able to get through, put pressure on the quarterback, and hurry the throw, and Pioneers almost came up with that interception.
So 2nd down and 10, 3:50 to play here in the third. Very pass-happy attack. Jack McDaniels taking over for 2 quarterbacks who have rewritten the record books in the passing game over their tenures at West Alabama over the last 7 years. Talk a little bit more about that coming up. Little option give. This will be Smith on the carry, is met at the 50, tries to break the tackle, cannot, and is taken on out of bounds. And good run protection that time as Ramel Fields, a graduate transfer for the Pioneers, makes the stop. And it'll bring up 4th down.
4th down long right now. West Alabama, they don't have to score. They don't really have to punt. They can kind of just work on whatever they want to. Or actually bringing up 3rd down.
Pardon me, it is. Yeah, sorry, 3rd down. Sorry. Jack McDaniels replacing 2 of the best quarterbacks by yards. Kyle Caldwell, 7,771 yards, 86 touchdowns. Career numbers at West Alabama, and then the graduate just a year ago, Harry Satterwhite, a single season record in passing yards, finishes with 7,537 career yards and 68 touchdowns. 3rd and long, and McDaniels just going to air it out long, and the Pioneers back there defensively come up with the pick. David Johnson got his hands on this one and held on to it. Much like a punt, though, when you think about it, with it fielded back inside the 10 and down at the 8-yard line. But the Pioneers get their 2nd interception of the game.
Yeah, the field position is equivalent to what would have happened if the Tigers had punted on 4th down. But if nothing else, Johnson and the Pioneers can feel good about actually finally getting that 2nd interception.
So Tusculum 1st and 10 at their 8. Joaquin Collazo in relief of Bryce Moore, who took a hit, lost his helmet on a sack. He'll be taken out. And a couple of guys on the sidelines for the Pioneers in a bit of a heated discussion. Interesting. Jake Moss will go in motion across the formation, and Moss started his move toward the line of scrimmage too early. So maybe a bit rusty for Moss, his first game of the year.
We've got a lot of these guys for Tusculum who are redshirt freshmen, and right now Coach Odom having to have a little conversation with one of them.
False start. Offense, number 11.
Actually, it wasn't Moss. Say false start against the Pioneers will be their 7th penalty charged in this football game. So first down and 15 with the ball spotted back at the 4-yard line. They kind of went half to the distance, sorry. So first down and 14. Maurice Gamillion in the backfield. He'll get the handoff and run right side across the 5 and up to about the 6-yard line, but just very little running room against this West Alabama defense. You know, they don't do a whole lot special, but what they do is just be athletes and they make plays. And right now they've just made a lot of plays. Not necessarily forcing turnovers, but they tackle. When they get to the play, they make the tackle.
Well, they do, and that's what I'm still watching, thinking about what's going on the sideline. You've got these emotions high for Tusculum players. My guess is that people are starting to finger point at one another, but whenever you're losing 40-7, there's not one person to point a finger at.
Right. Tigers on a 33-0 run right now, lead at 40-7 after the Pioneers had tied it up, and this game could be totally different with some luck. This pass complete, Collazo to A.J. Bellinger, who gets involved across the 20 and up to the 23-yard line. First and 10 for the Pioneers. They roll him down at the 21. Nice pass by Collazo to Bellinger.
It was a really nice pass from Bellinger. Good job for taking the football once he was able to get it, and that's what enabled him to get the first down for Tusculum.
From the 21, the Pioneers move right to left on your radio. Again, the game was tied at 7. West Alabama took a 14-7 lead. Tusculum answered with the drive down to the 1 and then missed a field goal, which West Alabama then took from the 20 and 6 plays into the end zone for a touchdown to take a 21-7 lead. Receiver screen here to Bellinger, takes a hit, bounces off of that at the 25 and moves up to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. Collazo to Bellinger for his second consecutive catch in the game, and it brings up second down about 4.
That is just back-to-back plays, back-to-back catches, and nice pickups by Bellinger for the Pioneers.
Again, they were moving the chains. It's just second down, guys. It's their first game.
Yeah, they get excited over it.
Yeah, it's excited. So second down here about, say, 2. Ball resting just shy of the 29-yard line. Got a crooked lollipop across the field. This will be Collazo. Blitz is coming. He picks it up, sprinting to the near side. Little stutter step across the 30, and he'll go out of bounds at the 32 and pick up the first down. Joaquin Collazo saying, hey, Brian, don't forget, I'm a little bit elusive as well.
It was. Now we can actually move the chains, guys, because that was a pickup there by the Pioneers by Collazo.
40 seconds to play here in this third quarter of action, where West Alabama leads at 40-7. You don't know what could happen if the Pioneers could have tied the game at 14, or if they had not had some of the mistakes they have had on special teams, converted on fourth down. You woulda, coulda, shoulda. I still think West Alabama is a better team. But there could have been some different things happen in the favor of momentum, as Maurice Gamillion will cross the 35 up to the 36, close to the 37-yard line for a gain of close to 5.
Had the Pioneers converted, obviously they would have more than 7 themselves, but I also don't think that West Alabama has the 40, because whenever the game's that much tighter, you're not going to be able to do the free-flowing things that West Alabama's done.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. We will start the fourth quarter when we return right after this to Pioneer Field with your score, 20th ranked West Alabama 40 and Tusculum 7. Pioneer football will continue after this from Pioneer Field here on the Pioneer Sports Network. be with us here on this Saturday night under the lights at Pioneer Field, our last night game of the year. Everything else, a 1 or 2 or 1:30 start time.
Well, I'm glad of that. I don't like night games.
Yeah,
you got to sit around and wait all day to get them started.
2nd down and 5 as we start the 4th quarter. Joaquin Collazo goes downfield looking for A.J. Bellinger, and good coverage in the secondary. Covered up over the top that time by Xavier Williamson, a senior out of Rose Hill, Mississippi. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Unfortunate for the Pioneers, just try to get something going here. Convert the first down. You don't have to look all the way down for a big ball. Get to first and keep the chains moving.
There's a lot of things that I think about. I look at this game, and Pioneer teams of the past always had the ability to get behind the defense somehow with receivers. And this West Alabama team has not allowed anybody behind them. Last week, Delta State allowed nobody behind them. Yet this West Alabama team has just run freely behind our defense tonight. So no concern there. Blitz comes. Collazo spins away from that. He's looking downfield. There's really nobody to throw to, and tried to thread the needle to a covered Maurice Gamillion, where it's going to bring up 4th down on the incompletion. And so 4th down coming up for the Pioneers.
No real indication of sending on the punt team, and that's not really going to make a difference on the result, but I guess perhaps we did have a penalty. It was declined.
So that punt team will come in.
So now we're going to see the punt team. I guess there's just the delay in waiting to see what the call was going to be.
Yeah. So Cantrell will step back out there to punt the ball away, where it has been a bit of an adventure, but did have his best punt on his last effort just moments ago. On the incompletion, 14:46 to play here in this football game, and the Tigers, Sid Thurman, will drift back inside the 30, standing at about the 27. Snap to a knee goes Cantrell, gets it, then delivers a very high, wobbly spiral. Thurman will ask for the fair catch, and then was actually hit as he makes the catch by friendly fire.
Yeah, he's hit by one of his own players, so no penalty there. West Alabama going to set up.
So Cantrell, with his previous punt of 37 yards, moves his average to 26.2. That one will keep it about there, around maybe 28 yards per average. Now, some other scores with the bulk of the conference games tonight being played tonight.
Right now in the 4th quarter, Winston-Salem State's holding a 14-13 lead over visiting Catawba. Wingate is on the road at Fayetteville State, and that ball game is tied at 17 at halftime. West Georgia is at Limestone, leading the Saints 14-7, and Tennessee Tech is taking a 28-7 lead over UVA Wise.
Don, you were impressed with Limestone. They've got some pretty impressive scores over the last 2 weeks, even though one a loss to this team, West Alabama, and now a tough game for them, but playing well. And this a run by the 3rd running back of the game. This will be Demetrius Battle, the 6'2 redshirt freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama. He'll move it from the 27 up to the 32 and gain 5 for 2nd and 5.
Talking about Limestone impressive, is what I'm impressed with is their stadium that we get to go back to. We always look forward to going to Limestone. They don't even have a stadium. They play at a high school stadium, and it's by far and away the nicest place we go on a regular basis.
Nicest and biggest.
Yes.
That we will go to. 2nd down and 5 at the 32. Murphy in at quarterback. This pass is going to be complete. And complete to the All-American tight end Quay Boyd. And there on the stop, Lenny Roundtree for the Pioneers. Make that Jihad Russ, the sophomore out of Tampa, Florida, It's enough for a 1st down up to the 39-yard line. Murphy in the hurry-up with the snap and hands it off. Battle breaks the tackle behind the line at the 40, 45, and up to the 47-yard line. Tycorian Brown and Ivan Hogan's combined on the stop. But that'll be very close to a first. Make it 2nd down and about a yard. Nope, the officials say let's move the chains.
It looks like the worst part of the storm, Brian, is going to miss us, but I think we might get a little bit of rain here in a minute.
Handoff once again in Battle as they hurry up across midfield to the 45 and down to the Pioneer 44 as West Alabama goes tempo, leading the game 40-7.
Up this much, and right now you just have to figure it's not necessarily that they're trying to run things up as it is they're using this as an opportunity to put themselves in game situations and what to do.
Don't see this very often by a Jerry Odom Pioneer team giving up more than 40 points. Matter of fact, we don't see it very often at all.
No.
West Alabama, so that's very impressive for West Alabama. Murphy with Battle behind him out of the pistol, and Battle will have another carry, and he'll move it right at that big offensive line as he hits the line. Carries the ball down inside the 40 to about the Pioneer 37, which moves the chains again. Another 1st and 10.
I was actually watching. I think things were getting a little bit chippy down here in the student section, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud, relax. 1st down and 10 from the 37. Murphy out of the gun. Fakes the pass, hands it off to Battle, who gets big yards again. He bounces off a couple of tacklers. They haven't blown the whistle yet. Apparently he was able to keep his balance and appeared he went down on the D. Alford hit. Ivan Hogan's finally finishes him off. And the officials will say, yes, he did go down back near the 30-yard line.
Well, it's what happens. He got his hand down. The knee never touched, so that's why he was able to keep playing.
They just continue to feed Battle. And this time, maybe running out of a little bit of steam, will be hit by Hunter at the line of scrimmage and is finished off there. Colton Strickland was around it. C.J. Bartley around it. Devin Woodson was around the play as well. And it'll bring up a 3rd down at the 30-yard line. 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, Tigers got room to work here in the way they've just been chipping off, using their powerful running backs on this drive. Pioneer defense, if they can clog up that middle, they might at least force a 4th down.
A lot of communication in the back end of the defense for the Pioneers missing today, with Malik Goodman out, not playing today, and I think we've seen a little bit of that miscommunication at times. Here's a pass that'll be complete, and at the 30-yard line, the Pioneers will get the stop defensively. There is a flag down. This will be an offensive pass interference for a block downfield before the throw was made by Sid Thurmond, I believe. The pass was caught, however, by Jarek Orr out of Aberdeen, Mississippi. And so that would be, the play would be 4th down and about 2 at the 29, but if you count the penalty, it should be a pass interference offensively. And that is the indication. And even on 3rd down and long tonight for West Alabama, they've converted.
Some of their biggest plays have been on 3rd and long, especially those pass plays in the first half.
Well, they're 6 of 11 on 3rd downs tonight. Pioneers just 4 of 13. And it's not bad numbers. You know, you consider you've converted 4 of 13. But West Alabama 6 of 11. The Pioneers have just 161 yards of offense. 389 yards of offense for West Alabama. 303 of that through the air. So 3rd down and 18, back at the 45. Murphy out of the gun to pass, looking to this near sideline. The pass will be incomplete. It was one-hopped to Orr, and it will be 4th down at the 45.
Yeah, right now you see a situation where what is West Alabama going to do? Going to bring on their punt unit and try to get some directional punting because they don't have the long room or long field to work with.
Zach Gaines will come out, the 6'1 senior. Will be ready to punt this ball away. Stands at his own 40-yard line, but he has been a phenomenal weapon for them, and he hasn't been out the 10 times like he was against Limestone. Just a little directional line drive missile that goes through the back of the end zone. I mean, it just barely touched it. You know, it looked like a Justin Jeffers kind of 3-quarter swing with the 5-iron, and just missiled it and bored it through the wind that there is none here, but he just bored it through the whole playing surface here at Pioneer Field.
All the way out the back. If he would have put his leg behind it, he would be picking it up off the baseball field right now.
He has a 52-yard average tonight, and that's going to hurt his average. It goes for 45 yards officially, but he hit it 55 yards on a little half swing. 11-13. I'm impressed with Zach Gaines. No wonder he was the D2Football.com Special Teams Player of the Week. So the Pioneers back out offensively. Joaquin Collazo has gone after Bryce Moore got the start here in this second half, it has been Joaquin Collazo. Pioneers have been stagnant offensively. Out of the gun, the pass complete to the near side. This will be Bellinger, breaks off one tackle, and then help comes for the Tigers and brings him down. Defensively for West Alabama is Gaddis, the senior from Foxworth, Mississippi.
It would have been easier for Bellinger to go down. He caught the ball and was immediately hit, knocked backwards, but he kept his balance, kept his feet, and was able to push back forward and pick up a pretty good little piece of yardage.
Picked up about the 3, lost to the 26-yard line, where it's a 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Pioneers. Collazo working from the gun, the redshirt freshman. Bryce Moore, the redshirt freshman. A little pass out of the backfield. This will be Jordan Shippey. A little shoulder juke from the line of scrimmage and close to the 30-yard line. Great team pursuit once again. Said that a lot tonight for anybody that's playing for West Alabama. And it'll bring up a 3rd down, about 2. Pioneers look as if they have reeled off a good play, and then all of a sudden you look up and it's still 3rd down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Pioneers and just kind of symbolic of the whole night, I guess.
Clock runs, 10-15. Tigers lead 40-7. Pioneers have been very good here at home against nationally ranked opponents, 11-11. They were just 13-31 against nationally ranked opponents. And they will drop to 11-2, very likely, barring a miraculous comeback. And this pass is going to be broken up and incomplete, intended for Jake Moss, and broken up nicely by Jeremiah Boyd, the junior out of Lena, Mississippi. I have to kind of look down. There's double numbers for basically 1 through about 23. So I have to kind of check to see who's playing defense, who's playing offense. And 4th down coming up for the Pioneers.
You know, it used to be nice when visiting teams were limited to the number of traveling players they could take, or then at least it was nice whenever you just dressed out 1 through 99, but now it's, hey, all play.
Well, you got a ton more players over here than you do over here. It's just that we don't want to wear these other numbers. Cantrell end over end punt. It'll be fielded at the 39, and a great job getting down the field, one of the gunners for the Pioneers. And that's my guy, I think, Ryan McIntyre, who gets down the field. I say that because I see him all summer long working over there at Lowe's here in Greenville. I say, Ryan, man, I need some help. He's like, Mr. Staten, I got you. I'll give you some help. He says, well, you've been here 3 days in a row. You must be working on something. And my guy makes the tackle right there. Good to have a good shout-out to Ryan McIntyre, gunner on that punt coverage team. 1st and 10, though, for the Tigers. 9:47 to play in the game.
Right now it would be interesting to see if all these number of players that West Alabama does have, who they're going to rotate through and try to get some playing time as we look down toward the end of this football game.
Murphy will get the call here at quarterback once again. Getting some new wide receivers into the game. We've got a new running back, Demetrius Battle, ran hard that last series. We'll get a chance to go at it once again. Good stiff arm on Devin Woodson, who brings him down from behind. Woodson said I was face masked, and yes, he was right. But he loses 5, and Devin Woodson still makes the play behind the line of scrimmage for the Pioneers.
Good gang tackling by the Pioneers to help make that play happen.
Well, the Pioneers tonight could not give up the explosion plays, and they gave up too many. Lenny Roundtree is going to come in for Tycorian Brown. Haven't seen a whole lot of David Johnson tonight. No Malik Goodman, but I do think that is Malik in there. No, pardon me, it is not Malik Goodman that is in there right now. It's 26, not 36. Jordan Gillard is in out of Tampa. 2nd down and 15 from the 35. And a blitz picked up, screen, complete to Battle. He takes a hit at the 35, bounces off that to the 40 and up to the 42-yard line. He's like a bowling ball. He just keeps going. And Ashton Watson comes up with the stop defensively for the Pioneers. So the yards lost, he gains back +2 to bring up 3rd down and 8.
Battle, just a physical player. He caught the football, he got hit, shrugs the defender off, and is able to go down and pick up some more yards for the Tigers.
8.5 to play. Clock runs. Again, some new bodies out there on the field for this Tiger team. Markeith Gray in the slot to the far side. Murphy is working out of the gun. Battle to his right. Pass across the middle is going to be caught at the 45, spins away from 1. At the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown Jarek Orr, touchdown Tigers. Getting away from the defense of Lenny Roundtree to this near sideline, just spun away from him, and after that it was just a foot race to the end zone, and the play will cover 58 yards for the score.
Well, just Tusculum trying to do something to at least get themselves excited, and unfortunately they bet on the big play, and that allowed West Alabama to break off the bigger play and get the touchdown.
Well, the Tigers, who went 8-4 last year, went 3-3 on the road last season. Jackson's point after is up and nearly clears the wall at the baseball field. Good. 8:04 to play, a 40-point game, and 40 unanswered by the Tigers. It's West Alabama 47 and Tusculum 7. Pioneer football will continue after this from Pioneer Field here on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
And that you could stay with us. Unfortunately, not bringing you a win tonight here. West Alabama is going to go back to Livingston, Alabama. Right now leading at 47-7. Pioneers just need something to feel good about going into conference play, opening that up next week against Limestone.
Well, and that's what you have to take a look at. Limestone played West Alabama much closer, still taking a loss, but it was a 35-18 game, and that's...
Hey, West Alabama and Limestone had 430 yards of offense. Jackson's kick will drive Chavis Williams back to the 4-yard line, pinned him deep. Boy, what a great kick. Williams spins away, and then on his pirouette is tripped up at the 15-yard line. And it will be a 1st and 10 at the 15 for the Pioneers. That last scoring drive, Jarek Orr, 58 yards from Jacob Murphy, has run for a touchdown, now thrown for a touchdown. 3 plays, 60 yards, a minute 43 off the clock, and it's 47-7.
You know, whenever you're scoring minute 43 seconds, that's why you're able to put 47 points up on the board.
Look at some of these long plays, too. A 39-yard pass, 60-yard pass, 32-yard pass, 25-yard pass, 58-yard pass, 32-yard pass, 29-yard pass, 27-yard pass. And for the Pioneers, 11 and 13, 19 and 15. Those are the long plays today. Handoff here, and not much running room for Jordan Shippey. He's going backwards, and will be just hemmed up and then taken down right back at the line of scrimmage. Actually does a nice job to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Shippey did run a long way on that play. Unfortunately, just not the long way in the right direction.
Jeremiah Boyd, one of the first there. And Jerry Odom was very complimentary of what West Alabama does. Says, look, they don't run a whole lot of complicated setup or scheme, but what they do it very well. He's very complimentary, and he was serious. You know, that was to the microphone. And then off the microphone, he was like, no, and that's just not coach speak. I mean, they are very
well, you know, I've advocated that for years. You don't need a massive playbook. Just get you 10 or 12 plays that nobody can defend.
Pioneers Joaquin Collazo back to pass. This pass on a receiver slant will be complete. And A.J. Bellinger has been a top target here in the second half. And Bellinger is going to move the chains across the 25 to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for Tusculum.
You don't have to play some sort of massive strategic chess game in this. Just play checkers and play it better than everybody else that you're playing against.
Brent Gillen was an all-conference quarterback back in 2004 for his alma mater. Now as the head coach, and it's not a simple system. Obviously, there's different schemes when you have receivers running the right routes, proper routes, and you have quarterbacks delivering on those routes. And the way that they have, obviously, West Alabama's proven to be a power in the Gulf South. Collazo looking for Bellinger again near sideline. Threw it too low and behind him, incomplete. Brings up second down and 10.
You'd almost like to see it get to the point where your football team could look across the line of scrimmage and say, he's going to throw it to me right over there, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and that's, there's a high school in this area that used to do that for years and years and years, and that was the Maryville, and they ran 8 plays. Coach said they just ran 8 plays. Yeah. Well, they did it a whole lot better than you could stop it. Well, a lot of that's blocking scheme, and when you've got the girth that West Alabama has, that's helpful as well. But a good offense, and look forward to that showdown, seeing the score next week between West Alabama and Valdosta State. Joaquin Collazo is going to take off and then go into a slide, and the side judge with a nice hurdle on the sideline to avoid the would-be tackler. Collazo slides up to the 38-yard line, which will move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
Just keeping track of this West Alabama team is something that we need to do all season long, because what we're seeing here tonight, we know that they've got a possibility to go deep.
6:26 to play here in the football game. The Pioneers' home opener, not a very successful one here, where they have had a whole lot of success in years past, but you don't always play a Gulf South team in your home opener as well, but proving why that conference is so good and so deep. Collazo back to pass. He's just going to air it deep. He's got Arthur out there, and he just overthrows him. Arthur didn't lay out for it, and he just couldn't catch up to it. If he's able to run under it and keep his feet, he scores. And Collazo took a big hit as he delivered the pass that time for the Pioneers, and it's 2nd down and 10.
I didn't think to look today back through the record books. I wonder if there's been another time that the Pioneers have opened up back-to-back with Gulf South teams like this.
No. I did look, and no, you don't have that, and it wasn't in the cards this year, but a team that the Pioneers had scheduled in week number 1 kind of backed out, kind of the last second when they were going through the schedule in the winter, and one of the only things that fit was Delta State. Got a penalty on the Pioneers. There's plenty of time on the play clock. We don't have anybody. The pass is going to go on, I guess, Desmond Arthur for lining up offsides. Now, here's the problem I have with that. I watched Desmond Arthur look to the side judge and check, am I good? Apparently he wasn't good.
As it is, we got 6 minutes and 4 seconds left in today's contest once the clock starts again.
47-7, 40 unanswered by West Alabama in the game. Collazo to pass from the gun. Looks far side, pass complete to Bellinger. Makes the catch, and then he kind of stumbles and goes to the ground at the 37-yard line. He gains 3, and it'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Pioneers.
All right, very short pickup there on a completed pass. Not as good as he's been playing in earlier days. Just must have got his feet caught up in the grass.
Collazo will go back 5 of 13 tonight, 44 yards prior to that pass, so 6 of 14 for Collazo for 47 yards. Bryce Moore, 11 of 19 for 77 yards and a score. Pioneers yet to go over 200 yards of offense in the game, 449 yards of offense for West Alabama, and the Pioneers will have to burn a timeout, or is it a delay of game penalty?
Delay of game penalty against Tusculum, so it's going to back the Pioneers back 5 more yards.
So it remains 2nd down. Jordan Shippey is 15 carries, just 28 yards. Gamillion 14 yards. Joaquin Collazo 14 yards. Bryce Moore with 9. Thurlow Wilkins, who played only in the first half, 7 yards. I'm not sure why he's out of the game. Don't have that information readily available, but has not played in the second half, and it hurt us. He was not in there on the kickoff return to start the second half, where we field it and then take a knee in the field of play at the half-yard line.
Got choked on the popcorn.
5 minutes to play. Little dump down screen, complete out of the backfield to Shippey, just weaving his way through traffic. Will get as much as he can across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line before he'll be taken down there to create a 4th down and play. Gaddis on the stop. So 4th down coming up for the Pioneers. 4th down and about 10 with 4.5 to play in the game.
Just going to keep the offensive unit on the field and see what they can do. No point in punting here. So use this as a situation because you might find yourself in this position later in the season. So, hey, what works, what doesn't.
10 points last week. Scored a touchdown with 11 seconds to play. 7 points this week. Collazo is under pressure. He'll roll the pocket, look downfield, has a man Arthur complete at the 48. 45-40, 35 tripped up at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers, and a nice job by Joaquin Collazo. Both of the quarterbacks come in, have shown that they can extend the play. They both look sharp.
They have looked sharp, and they trying to get these guys integrated into South Atlantic Conference football. That's the key right now. So maybe what they've learned tonight will play off next week against Limestone.
Pioneers go empty. Down 47-7 with 3:40 to play at the West Alabama 35-yard line, converting on 4th down and 10. Collazo pocket collapses. He loses his helmet in the process, and he goes down back at the 40-yard line. So Bryce Moore and Joaquin Collazo have each lost a helmet. Bryce Moore ready to come back in. He'll have to come in for a play.
They might not, because I think I saw the penalty flag go. And if you lose your headgear because it was ripped off of you, then you don't have to sit out.
Now there is a penalty back there in the backfield.
Face mask, defense, number 39. The quarterback's helmet came off, and he may stay in the football game because of the foul.
Cole there defensively is whistled for that foul. He was the first there out of Hickory, Mississippi. You see a lot of East Central Community College, Mississippi State Community College, Southwest Mississippi Community College, Itawamba Community College, Northeast Community College. You see a lot of guys that have come out of there. They stay. And that's, for all intents and purposes, West Alabama University is on the Alabama-Mississippi line. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys that stay close to home. And Delta State's why they're so successful. And here at West Alabama becoming successful by keeping some of these homegrown kids around. Collazo to pass, looking for Williams, and incomplete. Hit him right in the gut, just couldn't hang on to it. Pretty physical coverage on this near sideline. And the flags stay in the pocket, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
He was backpedaling, falling down, and just couldn't hold on to the football.
So it will bring up the 2nd and 10 after the 15-yard face mask penalty, which takes the ball to the 20. Pioneers took advantage of a West Alabama unsportsmanlike penalty on their touchdown scoring drive, which went to Chavis Williams. Nearly had the 2nd there. Seemed like an eternity ago. Now with 3:06 to play in the football game, the Pioneers back into the red zone where they're just 1 of 3 in the football game. Collazo to pass. Looking to the corner of the end zone for Jake Moss, and this ball is knocked away and incomplete, where it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 as Gaddis knocks that one away again.
Pioneers looking to the end zone, trying to see what they can do when they air the football out, and they're doing a good job of it. It's just unfortunately West Alabama's defense is doing a better job on coverage.
So 3 minutes on the clock. Arthur will come out of the game. Collazo gets the play from the sideline. Again, just impressed with the defense. West Alabama, so much speed, they're able to recover and get to the plays before it seems as if they know what we're doing before we do it. They just have one safety across the top, but then they cover so well with a 4 wide out set. Collazo pass. This will be in and out of the hands of Bellinger. And defensively, that'll be Trey Elston, sophomore out of Auburn, Alabama. Makes it a 4th down and 10 for the Pioneers.
Yeah, that was just sort of a hot read there by Tusculum, trying to do something, get a quick pass off, and West Alabama had it read even better.
Collazo's going to come out. Bryce Moore is going to check in on this 4th down play. Not sure if Collazo took a hit there. But Bryce Moore will check in with 10 seconds on the play clock. The Pioneers go empty. 5 wide out set, trips to the near side. 4th and 10. Moore is going to tuck it and run. Going to bounce it outside, and right there showing the elusiveness for the 1st down and 10. You know, Collazo did not take a hit. That was just a design quarterback sneak by the Pioneers.
Yeah, it was really sort of a draw. He faked the handoff. Everybody was biting on the wide receivers, and Moore just tucked it and ran right up the middle till he got a hole, went to the outside, and picked up the 1st down.
2:40 to play. The Pioneers putting together their best drive of the second half as they are inside the 10-yard line down to the 8. Pioneers who have been to the 2 on this side of the field, or inside the 2, about the 1.5. So officially the 1, and they were turned away. And then they missed a field goal, and that really just kind of turned everything. Just changed the entire momentum. because West Alabama had a 14-7 lead at the time. Then they marched right down the field and scored to make it a 21-7 game. Just appeared as if the Pioneers never were able to recover. Even after they got an interception, drove the ball down inside the 20 once again. Went for it on fourth down, it just didn't happen. So there's things to learn in this game. Again, still some youth playing for this Pioneer team, and the Pioneers were missing several of their key pieces. But you've got to be next man up mentality. You just have to make sure you've got enough of those guys that can come in and get the job done. Right now, some of this youth not quite ready, but the quarterbacks have looked good despite some numbers that are off. I mean, again, just 80 yards passing for Collazo, 77 yards for Moore. No real big explosion play. And what I mean by that, no play over 20 yards tonight. And I think that is mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Just whenever you've not got that, it's...
Yeah, where West Alabama's had plenty of explosion plays tonight.
And they've been created explosion plays just by good football teams.
Yeah. So first down and goal at the 8 out of the Pioneer timeout. Moore in at quarterback. This pass is going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage. He was looking for a little back shoulder throw to Jake Moss, who was open for a moment, but nice job by the defensive line. If you can't get there, get your hand up and get a tip pass.
There you go. Put the ball on the ground. And that's what they're going to do. And now everybody's trying to get sorted and settle this thing out as we're down under 2.5 minutes remaining.
Bryce Moore stays in there at quarterback. Shippey, the tailback. Thompson to the far sideline. Bellinger comes to the near sideline. Like to see him get pretty aggressive here. Get a score. Instead, it's going to go to Shippey. And again, very little running room for Jordan Shippey. I feel sorry for him. Team's leading returning rusher for the Pioneers, and he's just had a tough go of it here on the first 2 games of the year. There's just been absolutely no running room for him. That was Terrence Carter, who got into the backfield, disrupted the play. And it'll be 3rd and goal after the loss of 2, back at the 10.
I just saw a flash off to the west, and I hope it was somebody taking a picture reflecting off the glass or something, because we certainly don't want a stoppage with...
A minute 50 to play?
Yeah.
3rd down and goal. Moore out of the gun. Looking, this pass is going to be complete to the 5, down to the 4-yard line. There is a penalty flag there. I don't know if this will be offensive pass interference. It looks like Desmond Arthur who makes that catch. But there were 2 Pioneers in the same area, and it looked as if Bellinger might have gotten into the way of one of the defenders or vice versa. As Arthur might not have been able to break free, but there were 2 Pioneers in the same area. That little professional pick play, I'm not sure if that's what will be called right here. Another long talk about it, and if they talk long enough, they're looking in the direction of that flash you saw.
Yeah.
With 1:32 to play. They are going to say pass interference on the defense. It'll be an automatic first down, and because it's inside the 10, it'll be a spot foul. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 6-yard line with 1:32 to play in the game. So another advantage, another break for the Pioneers.
Might have opportunity to at least end the game feeling good by putting points on the board.
Thought they would do that last week as well against Delta State when they scored with 11 seconds to play. And it did. I think it did today. I think it carried over. They played well. They moved it efficiently, but then didn't finish drives. 5 seconds on the play clock as Bryce Moore out of the gun gets the snap. Looking near side, now takes off. Still looking, now running, and now leaping for the pylon. And he's going to be out of bounds at about the 1. Took a tough hit as he went airborne, but you gotta applaud the courage.
And that's what I like about what I've seen from him here tonight. Is going to come out banged up a little bit, but just a quarterback who's willing to take a chance and make plays.
He'll come out right now. He'll get checked out, and Joaquin Collazo back in. 1:03 to play, and Collazo with its 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. Bellinger to the far sideline, Thompson near sideline. Collazo under center with Shippey in as the running back. No Maxwell Joseph this year, and Collazo is going to keep it. Quarterback keeper, he's in. He was just able to put the ball across the goal line and get into the end zone across that right side. Touchdown Pioneers, touchdown Joaquin Collazo. Threw for a touchdown last week, now rushes for a touchdown this week.
Just as the clock goes under a minute left here in the game, it's a shame that you have one guy go all the way down and set up, and then you have to switch out your quarterbacks. And Collazo, it's good for the team to get the touchdown, but and good for Collazo to get the touchdown. But otherwise,
so DeBusk will hold it. The point after is up and good by Eli Shepard, the Greenville High standout, and Shepard's point is good. So 59 seconds to play here in the game, and we go to a break. Back with your kickoff right after this. It's West Alabama 47 and Tusculum 14. Pioneer football continues on the Pioneer Sports Network.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin.
Are you serious? Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Seconds to play. The Pioneers get on the board as Joaquin Collazo touches pay dirt from a yard out. 16 plays, 85 yards, 7 minutes off of the clock. And the Pioneers get into the end zone, converting a couple of fourth downs on the series as well. 2 of 3 in the game now on the fourth down. So the Pioneers will come out in a different formation, and Juski will line up as if the Pioneers will try the onside kick. Angled to that far sideline, sure enough it is. And he gets the top of the ball. It does not get that second hop, and a nice job by the hands team of West Alabama to fall on top of it. And they smothered the ball, did not allow it to get that second high hop. And it'll be recovered by the Tigers on that far sideline. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They don't really even need to snap it. The Pioneers do have 2 timeouts, but 47-14, or I shouldn't say don't need to snap it, basically don't need to execute a whole lot.
No, just snap the ball, take your knees, and head on out.
Well, unless you bring in a different quarterback, which they will, so you might want to get him a little work just to see if he can't do something. Gavin Griffin, redshirt freshman out of Alabama. Give him a chance to touch the ball, and this will be a battle. Running to the right side, breaking some tackles, hurdling a tackler at the 40 to the 35, and he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Been very impressed with Demetrius Battle in this football game late.
He just continues to fight and churn and make phenomenal football plays all the way. Certainly got the Tiger sideline excited.
Real excited. 40 seconds to play here in this football game. And that ball a gain of about 15 on the play. So 1st down and 10. The clock runs inside 30 seconds to play. And he gets 1 play, and that's going to be it. Now Griffin is going to take the snap and then take a knee to end this football game. In the first ever meeting between Tusculum and West Alabama, the 20th ranked West Alabama Tigers travel here to Tusculum University, some 500 miles away from home, and they're able to get the victory as Brett Gilland will be impressive here on the road here tonight. After a 7-7 football game, the Tigers score 40 unanswered and knock off the Pioneers by a final score of 47-14. We ask that you stay tuned for our Pioneer postgame report to chat with a very probably unhappy Pioneer coach Jerry Odom as the Pioneers will get set now to turn their attention to the Limestone Saints and open up South Atlantic Conference play. Your final score was West Alabama 47 and Tusculum 14. Thanks for listening to Pioneer Football. Now stay tuned for our Pioneer postgame coverage right here on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Central Light and Power System, Wash Depot, Hometown Realty and Auctions, the Red, White, and Blue Marathon Quick Stop Markets, Greenville Federal Bank, Terry's Flooring, Gateway Ford, Lincoln Nissan, Corley's Pharmacy, Andrew Johnson Bank. And now, Joe Bird and the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan Staten.
And now we return to Pioneer Field on the campus of Tusculum University, where the Pioneers lose their home opener 47-14 to number 20 nationally ranked West Alabama. We will begin by taking a look at your post-game statistics, brought to you by Applebee's. Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood. First for your team stats, University of West Alabama, first downs 19, Tusculum 18. Rushing, the Tigers carried the ball 29 times for a total of 97 yards, Tusculum 36 rushes for 88 yards. Passing, West Alabama was 21 of 34 with 2 interceptions, 368 yards. Tusculum was 19 of 39, no interceptions, 157 yards. Total offense, the Tigers had 63 plays for 465 yards, while the Pioneers ran 75 plays for 245 yards. Punting, West Alabama punted 4 times for an average of 50.2 yards. Tusculum had to punt the ball away 8 times with a 23-yard average. Fumbles, West Alabama put the ball on the ground once, did not lose it. The Pioneers did not drop the football. Penalties, West Alabama 12 penalties, 135 yards. The Pioneers 9 penalties for 73. Time of possession, you can't tell it by the scoreboard. West Alabama 25 minutes 20 seconds. The Pioneers had the football in their possession 34 minutes and 40 seconds here in tonight's game. Third down conversions, the Tigers 7 of 13, Tusculum 4 of 16. Fourth down conversions, the Tigers did not attempt one. The Pioneers were 2 of 3. Red zone scoring chances, University of West Alabama was perfect 4 of 4 in the red zone, while the Pioneers were 2 of 4. Now we will take a short break and come back to you with your individual statistics. Your stats are brought to you by Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood. Start out with a minute, be prepared to go 90 seconds.
All right, you can.
Statistics. We will take a look at your individual stats. First, for West Alabama, rushing. Battle had 7 carries for a net of 39 yards. Underwood, 10 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. Smith, 28 carries for 18 yards. And McDaniels had 2 carries for 6. For the Pioneers, rushing, Jordan Shippey, 16 carries, 26 yards, a long of 11. Bryce Moore, 7 carries, 26 yards. He had a long of 13. Joaquin Collazo, 3 carries for 15 yards. And Maurice Gamillion had 6 carries for 14 yards. Passing for West Alabama, Jack McDaniels was 13 of 24 with 2 interceptions, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jacob Murphy was 8 of 10 for 112. For the Pioneers, Moore, 11 of 20, 77 yards and a touchdown. And Collazo was 8 of 19 for 80 yards. Receiving for the Tigers, Tyreek Martin, 6 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. Christian Salisbury, 4 catches, 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quay Boyd had 4 catches for 28 yards. And McMillian had 2 catches for 28 yards. For the Pioneers, A.J. Bellinger led the way, 6 catches for 56 yards. Jordan Shippey had 4 catches for 21. Desmond Arthur had 2 catches for 31 yards, including the Pioneers' long of the night at 24. And Deshaun Davis had 2 catches for 21 yards. Punting for the Tigers, Zach Gaines punted 4 times for an average of 50.2 yards. Andrew Cantrell punted for the Pioneers 6 times, 29.2 yards average. Defensively for the Tigers, Grady led the way with 8 tackles. Jones had 6 tackles. Boyd had 6 tackles. And Anderson had 6 tackles. And we're going to get the final defensive statistics for the Pioneers. Ivan Hogan's had 10 total tackles. Jackson Cawthorn had 9 tackles. Dee Alford had 6. And Isaiah Dunn had 6. And now we will take a very short break and throw it down to the field with Brian Staten and the Pioneer head coach, Jerry Odom.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We welcome you back into our Pioneer post-game report, where the Pioneers fall to the Tigers of West Alabama, ranked 20th in the country here tonight, joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. And we can sit here and look at a lot of things. I can sugarcoat a whole lot of things. You sit there and say, you know, it's a West Alabama team. Doesn't do a whole lot, but what they do very well. And I think tonight what they did very well was made some plays. can't give them a short field, and I think that hurt us especially early in the game.
Well, we're on a couple backup deep snappers, and obviously we knew they were coming after us. We worked on it all week, and we just didn't get it done, and that's my fault. I mean, this whole game was just a debacle. I mean, for me, I'm not a coach that makes excuses. I don't want my kids making excuses. I did not get them ready to play, I guess. I mean, that's I thought we were ready. We got a lot of guys banged up. I mean, so we're missing 6 or 7 starters, but I didn't feel like. I thought if we just went out there and played solid, we'd have a good shot to at least keep it close, take it in the fourth quarter, and see if we can make it happen. And all of a sudden I look around and we're just doing things, self-inflicted wounds all over the place. We look uncoached, and that's never been what we've ever looked like. And it'll be a long week of me trying to figure out some things. But we, at the end of the day, we start conference next week, and that's the ultimate goal.
All right, a turning point in the game. Obviously, game is 14-7. Looks as if you're going in to tie the game, and for the second straight, we were sitting there pointing fingers that there's a definite turning point in the contest. We just didn't recover from.
Yeah, when you miss an extra point, I could have gone for it, but I really wanted to get points out of that. I felt like we moved the ball pretty good on them, and I felt like it was important that we got some points, and then we missed like a chip shot. And yeah, I mean, I think we've got to be able to play through those things, though. You know what I mean? We can't get down on ourselves and things like that. And I think the kids played hard. They just made, I know defensively about 4 or 5 different times, they just made plays and we didn't. That's really what it came down to. Like, we were covering them and they made a play. One on Chris, one on D. That catch they made on D was an unbelievable catch. We busted a coverage for a touchdown, which we never do. So it was certainly disappointing. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I didn't get them ready.
I thought Bryce Moore got the start today, looked very crisp. I thought Joaquin Collazo comes in for him at times. He looked a little bit rattled, but both guys showed their elusiveness and the ability to extend the play.
Both of those guys are fine. I mean, we were down to 2 offensive linemen, from last week. Our starting tight end was out, 3 starting receivers, or 2 starting receivers. I mean, we're pretty beat up on both sides of the ball, not having, a couple guys on defense that really hurt us some too, but we just got to play better. I don't know what else to say. I mean, they're a good football team, but we've got to find a way to overcome these things and make things better.
I know. Turn the page on this one against West Alabama, and you've got a Limestone team you're waiting in the conference, and I know you've seen a little bit of them because they played West Alabama.
Better than we did.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have to look at when you look at Limestone? Do you get some guys back from the game tonight, and as you prepare for that conference game?
I think we'll get 4 back. A couple linemen, DB, maybe a couple DBs. That'll be helpful because when you get down, at this level and you get down 5 or 6 guys, it's tough. Limestone can throw the football. I don't think they'll, but they make plays too. So we just got to play better. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And I won't sleep much next week until we get this, get going.
Hey, Coach, I appreciate your time. I know it's tough for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Pioneer coach Jerry Odom as Pioneers fall tonight to the West Alabama Tigers, who go to 2-0 on the year. The Pioneers on the road next week to Limestone. More of our Pioneer postgame continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Just